All right, sir.
Good.
Engines on 5, 4, 3.
And good afternoon, and welcome to A.L. Moore Memorial Stadium on the Perkinston campus. A chilly homecoming 2012 as the Gulf Coast Bulldogs get ready to take on the East Central Warriors. I'm Bill Snyder, always along with Jimmy Davis. Jeff Shepard will be here momentarily on the sidelines, and we welcome you to Perkinston. Well, Jimmy, we thought we'd have, 71 degrees, a little bit of breeze. Instead, we've got about 56, and I'm going to call it raw.
It's very raw. I was down on the field about 30 minutes ago. We've had some wind gusts up to 20, 22 miles an hour, so that's definitely going to play a factor in the kicking game today.
Yes, it is. The wind coming out of the northwest, as Jimmy said, probably 15 to 20 miles an hour. So that's going to affect the game, as Jimmy just said a second ago. While we're doing the invocation and the national anthem, let's hear what Coach Campbell has to say about this game. In our pregame recording, Coach Campbell talked about the East Central Warriors, the playoff implications, and those kind of things. And then we'll also hear our JUCO Weekly Week 9 report from Mike Frazier. Here's Coach Campbell.
each week you got the biggest game of the year because it's the next game, and each week you're playing for more and more. We've got a chance to lock up a playoff berth and put ourselves in position for possibly a first-round home game. So this game is definitely a big one. Last week's was huge. This week's is even bigger.
It really seems like the tempo each week goes up and the intensity seems to be going up. That's got to make you feel good knowing these guys, maybe starting to peak when you want them to.
Right. Bill, we've got a very young football team. This year I guess on our roster preseason we had 39 freshmen and 16 sophomores. So, we started off fast, and then we had a little lull there. I guess weeks maybe 3, 4, and 5 didn't play quite as well as what we would have wanted to have played. But now we've really kicked it into gear, and the guys are playing better. We're playing a lot of young guys, and they're learning the schemes on both sides of the football, and we're getting more and more guys involved as they learn their positions and learn, what we're asking of them, and the guys are definitely responding, playing really well, and executed this past week, and hopefully we can keep that going into this weekend. I mean, East Central's very dangerous on both sides of the football. They've got, a quarterback that can really run, and he's got a strong arm. He can make all the throws, but he's very explosive, a lot of speed in the pocket. I don't know that we've seen a guy like him this year that can really move around and beat you with his legs as well as his arm. And they've got a great running back. They've got a lot of offensive skill guys that can definitely take it to the house if you don't bottle them up. And good offensive line, very good scheme. The scheme that they run over there is it's an option scheme, a zone read scheme that creates opportunities for all their skill guys to get the football in space. Defensively, their defense coordinator, Blake Frazier's done a great job over the years. He was at Northwest back when we used to play them in the playoffs years ago. So they've created this trouble over the years. They've got a lot of big guys on defense, guys that can run. They've got some speed over there as well. So, on both sides of the football, they definitely present challenges. They're coming off of, like you said, they stumbled against Pearl River. The week before that, they beat Mississippi Delta 31-0. A couple of weeks before that, they beat Hines, and we know Hines is a very, very talented, good football team. So, it's definitely a challenge for us this week, and one that we're looking forward to.
I'm Mike Fraser with the Bank Plus podcast, brought to you by the good folks at Bank Plus. It's more than a name, it's a promise. Latest MGCCC rankings were released earlier this week. Iowa Western remains number 1, Butler number 2, East Mississippi holds firm at number 3, Arizona Western 4, Nassau ranked number 5. Mississippi Gulf Coast up 2 notches from 11 to number 9. Northwest, just a 7-point loss last week to East Mississippi. They fall to number 11 in the nation. Colin ranks 17, and Jones County Junior College ranks number 18 in the country in the latest NJCAA poll. Scores from around the MACJC in Week 9. 4 games were played on Thursday night. It was Holmes Community College 49, Coahoma 3. The win closes out the campaign for Holmes at 5-4. First winning season for the Bulldogs since 2002. Northeast closes out the campaign on the road at Mississippi Delta, and they handle the Trojans 24-3. Hines Community College led 14-0 at the break. That was enough to push them over the top. They handle Pearl River 26-16. And the marquee game Thursday night was number 17 Colin at Southwest. The Wolves needed a win to clinch a playoff spot. They get it. Bears led 7-0 after 1, but Colin battles back to tie it at 7 at the break, and they go on to win the second half, thus the game by a score of 23-10. Only one playoff spot left to be determined in the South, and that'll either go to Jones County Junior College or Mississippi Gulf Coast. Bulldogs of Mississippi Gulf Coast control their own fate. If they beat East Central at home Saturday, they will clinch that South Division playoff spot and be back in the postseason. Jones County steps out of conference to take on Northwest. Their game Saturday means nothing regarding a South position playoff spot. Their divisional games are concluded for the 2012 campaign. Jones County is at Northwest. They had a 2 o'clock kick on Saturday. Jones County ranked 18th in the nation, Northwest number 11. Gulf Coast, a 2 o'clock kick. They entertain East Central, Mississippi. Gulf Coast ranked number 11 in the country. As for the number 3 team in the country and the number 1 seed out of the Northeast Mississippi, they traveled to Itawamba to take on John Williams and the Indians. They had a 4 o'clock kick in Fulton on the campus of Itawamba Community College. In that North Division, the postseason is set. Number 1 East Mississippi, number 2 Northwest. They're just waiting to see who their opponent will be, as those will be determined throughout the course on Saturday afternoon. For scores, stats, news, photos, videos, and Bank Plus podcasts, log on to JUCOweekly.org. And if you want to track MACJC student athletes regarding statistics, log on to JStats, and we will have those for you posted on the website. Reporting, I'm Mike Frazier.
And welcome back to A.L. May Memorial Stadium. Some pre-homecoming game festivities going on the field right now. You may hear alma mater being sung in the background, and that's really what this is all about. Big game, Jimmy, but also the festivities going on the field, and that have been going on. Of course, we had our Bulldog Golf Tournament yesterday out at Wind Dance, and then we had our Athletic Hall of Fame induction last night, Alumni Hall of Fame this afternoon, and everybody seemed to have a good day. Everybody was bundled up, but we still had a pretty good day, and, you know, a lot of neat memories and a lot of neat war stories we were hearing last night from some of the athletes that were inducted.
Well, you guys have had a busy week. I know, coming off the road like we did last week, and y'all really didn't stop because, you know, y'all had to get the ball rolling for everything. Did you play golf yesterday, by the way?
I did not. I was doing some last-minute tweaking on some of the videos. So,
okay.
But they had a wonderful day out there. It was good weather. And I heard there were some points being shaved out there, some strokes. You don't. You shave strokes on the golf course. You don't shave points. But anyway, they had a good time, and we had a great time at the Bow last night, and thanks to everyone involved. It's always a first-class event, homecoming. We had our Bulldog Cookout, and they dedicated the Dr. Lott Resource Center over there. And, of course, Dr. Lott was the Sam Owen Trophy recipient. Of course, we had our Alumni Hall of Famers, Sandra Fletcher, Dennis Burke, and Dr. Houston C., and all of our Athletic Hall of Fame members, as we said, inducted last night. Now, talking about the game today, it is won or done. We got to win this one to move on. Winning the game clinches a number 1 seed in the South, another playoff run, the 6th in a row for the Bulldogs. So it's huge, but if we lose, we're done, because a loss would mean both Jones and Colin would only have 1 loss in the division. That would mean we have 2. So every game is a playoff game from now on, essentially.
It is, and this is, you know, to show how big it is. And you saw, if y'all watched your show last night, The Blitz, then you saw some graphics on there that if we can win, if we do win today, everything comes through Gulf Coast. As long as they can win, they play here. Right. And then, of course, you know, the rankings will have to do themselves what they're going to do. You got East Mississippi at 3. Of course, you got Northwest in there. If we do win, we already know Northwest will be here next week. And, you know, what a war that's going to be. So, but the important thing is this is a South Division year to host. And if Gulf Coast can come through and win today, then they'll play right here next week. And that'll be kicking off for the playoffs. And that's big. I mean, that's real big.
It is big. Excuse me, I had a little indigestion. They've been having some mic problems outside. I don't know if you heard that or not. If that didn't wake everybody up, it sure woke me up anyway. But you see the band of gold on the field awaiting the arrival of the 7-1 Bulldogs, 7-1 overall and 4-1 in the division. Now, East Central comes into this game. They lost to Pearl River last week. However, I was talking to their sports information person, Mr. Bubby Johnson, and Bubby was telling me they've had to kind of adjust on the fly. Their quarterback, Colton Kane, ended up having a really bad staph infection, so he left midway through the season. And now their quarterback is Brock Hall, who is their best wide receiver, who is a terrific athlete and really a pain to bring down in the backfield. The passing game, though, might be in a little bit of question. And speaking of the passing game, you've got Clint Hatton, 21 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the year. So Clint, another integral part of the offense to quill all the weapons that Gulf Coast has. I wonder how the wind is going to affect the passing game today, though.
I think if the ball gets up, you're going to see some receivers have to come back to the football, especially some of the plays that we run to DeQuill when we're trying to hit him on a 40, 45, 50-yard play. You know, he's going to have to watch that to make sure, especially if we're throwing into it. If you got it to your back, then it'll just be the other way. He's going to have to kick it in another gear and go get it. But in the kicking game, the same way. I watched, in the pregame, I watched our guys kick both ways. And our field goals were all blowing with the wind away. As the wind's coming due out of the north, blowing across the field, he was missing everything to the south side of the uprights. Down here, he was pretty much drilling them right through because he had the wind to his back. So it is going to play a game. You hope it don't come down to a field goal, but, he had a bad game last week. He said he's over that. That's gone. That's forgotten, and he's ready for today. So kicking game, special teams, we've held on to the ball real good. You're going to see the same amount of running backs, and even we think we're going to run the ball a lot today.
Oh, I think so. You've seen what they've done. We saw a coming-out party of sorts for Dietrich Goff last week. A couple of touchdowns. He had 145 yards rushing, the big freshman. So as the season goes on, you're seeing that running game really kick into high gear for the Bulldogs. So got to win and got to move on. If we win, we will be right back here next week taking on Northwest in the playoffs. And more than likely that game will be at 2 o'clock or 2:30. We'll let you know. But we got to take care of business here first. We got to keep with our Coach Campbellisms.
That's right.
The most important game right now is this game because it's the next game. So we'll take care of that hopefully this afternoon. Of course, some of the other scores from around the MACJC. The big one was Thursday night when Colin defeated Southwest 23-10. What's interesting is if Colin would have lost that game, what's interesting, Jimmy, is if Colin would have lost and we would have lost, then we'd be the number 2 seed. But they ended up winning, so if we lose today, we're out. It's just the way the playoffs work and that tiebreaker system. But we don't have to worry about that anymore. The only thing we got to worry about is taking care of business on the field. East Mississippi plays this afternoon, as do some of the other teams. I'll get some scores from around the MACJC. I'll get those going here in just a few minutes as you hear the Band of Gold getting cranked up down on the sidelines. The Bulldogs getting ready to come out, and here they come, hoping to secure a playoff berth on homecoming.
You know, I think that these guys know what they're up against. They were up against, I felt last week, they were up against the wall. You know, we thought going in that a good Colin team at the time were ranked 14th in the nation. You don't get recognized by coaches and sports writers from all over the nation if you're not a pretty good ball club, and they were ranked 14th. And our young guys responded last week. We've had a little hiccup on offense with Nettles and the ankle problems he's been having. He only ran the ball one time in the first play of the game. He got a little tweak there. He had to come out. But you said Goff stepped in, and what a running back he was last week. And that's the thing we got here. You know, we're fortunate enough to have about 5 backs that we can put out there and really don't lose a beat.
It's a stable of running backs. Some of those scores I was telling you about, Holmes finished their season beating Kahoma 49-3. Northeast got a win over Delta 24-3. Hines beat Pearl River by 10 Thursday, 26-16. We told you about Colin beating Southwest 23-10. In our game, Jones takes on Northwest up in Senatobia today, and East Mississippi finishes their regular season taking on Itawamba. But here it's Gulf Coast and Southwest, the homecoming battle. Gulf Coast has won every homecoming game since 2006, so we've had a good precedent on homecoming games, and we've had it a couple of times at the end of the year, kind of like it is this year. So we'll see how that goes. Clint Hatton getting ready on the sidelines, as is the Bulldog players. East Central now coming out, getting ready to come out. East Central all gold shirts, gold pants, and black helmets with the arrowhead. Of course, Gulf Coast in the familiar in the blue uniforms this week at home. So the key today will be controlling the wind and the Bulldogs just doing what they like to do, and you're seeing a little jawing, and I never understood that when you're a team with a losing record. What do you got to talk about, you know?
Well, you know, our guys, and there goes Coach Campbell putting everybody back on the sideline. Our guys who is intent, intimidated. Anytime anybody walks on our field,
right.
They want to know where they are. They want to tell them, that's what that Bulldog's out on the field for. You're here at our house, and we don't lose here at our house. So
we've won 18 in a row, hoping for 19. So
a little. Our guys are feeling it. I like I said, when I walked through the dressing room, talked to a couple of guys, they felt calm. I talked to the coaching staff; they felt calm. Felt a whole lot better this week than they did last week. But we'll see what happens, and we're just minutes away of getting this one underway.
We are. I am very curious to see how the wind is going to affect this game, especially with the kicking. We'll see that play out this afternoon. Of course, some of the other games, big game tonight, State and Alabama. That one kicks off later tonight. Ole Miss was leading Arkansas, I think 21-17 at halftime. And right now in the third quarter, Rice leading the woeful Southern Miss Golden Eagles 21-10. So those are the big three as far as that goes. And, of course, our game going on right now. Minutes away from kickoff, the Bulldogs will be receiving and going right to left. So they will have the wind, in a sense, behind them. As we said, it's a crosswind, but it's coming in at an angle. So the wind will be behind them to start the game. And, obviously the Bulldogs want to run it down East Central's throat, basically, to not mince words, Jimmy.
And talking to Steve Campbell and asking him about, truthfully, Coach, what are we going to try to do with that? And he said, we really need to run the football a lot. We don't need to put it up too much. We don't have to. Of course, you're going to see the out routes. You're going to see the things that our kids are famous for, and it's hard not to throw it to DeQuill. When you got the wind at your back and you want to pop that 40-yarder or 45-yarder, it's hard not to, because I was reading some of the information you put together, and it shows where he stands in the nation.
Yeah, he's right up there among the best, number one, number two in the country on receiving touchdowns and also receiving yards. The Bulldogs, the number 9 team this week, Northwest 11, Colin 17, and Jones at 18, and East Mississippi at number 3. That is Cole Ballard, the East Central kicker, about ready to put this thing into play. Back deep for Gulf Coast, Eli Hughes and Josh Keys, and homecoming has begun. Ballard gets it into the wind, and it goes straight out of bounds, so Gulf Coast will start 1st and 10 from the 35, and any type of hook coming off the legs of either of these kickers is going to go way left. So it's one of those you gotta almost play the hook way out, kind of like a golf shot, I guess.
That golf shot, you got to get it out and let the wind bring it back in, and that's, the coaching staff was working. Steve even walked down there and talked to our kickers and told them, this is important, guys. Wind, you get this thing up, the wind's going to blow it across the field, and you got to prepare for that. So I think he had them kicking, right at the goal pole on the north end of the side of the goal pole, so it would blow through the middle or the other side. If you line up, they're going to make them kick it again. And I would do this too. I saw a college game last night where this happened, and a coach, they kicked it out of bounds. Coach decided to make them go back and penalize them 5 yards and make them kick it again. They got to return back to the 50-yard line. So,
but you think with these guys, with Hughes and Josh Keys, you could get at least past the 35. So let's see if this particular strategy works. Cole Ballard will tee it up back at the 30, and this also means he'll probably do some kind of squib kick here to erase the fact that he don't want to go out of bounds again. So we'll see what happens as we have a little do-over here on the opening kickoff between Gulf Coast and East Central here on 103.1 FM WOSM and MGCCC Bulldogs.com. Heard internationally, including Okinawa, Italy, Vietnam, and as you may have seen on Bulldog Blitz last night, Bat Cave, North Carolina. Now Ballard puts his foot into it. This one drifts near the sideline, but it is returnable. Josh Keys takes it at the 10. Keys out to the 30 and dropped right at the 30, so we actually lost 5 yards on that. Yeah. But no matter, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, starting just inside their 30. Clint Hatton at quarterback. Hatton, 1,749 yards this season, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 4 rushing TDs. His 21 passing touchdowns, 5th in the nation. Of course, DeQuill Williams, 49 catches, 941 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's 2nd in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns, and he is split out wide left On the first play, coming in motion, is Tyrone Williams, and it will be a pass out to Williams on the screen, tied to the 30, to the 35, run out of bounds near the 40, and that should be pretty close to a Bulldog first down. So a nice, safe bubble screen.
Blocking out here by our two wideouts that allowed him to get it out here. The ball thrown out in front where he's got some momentum going. Good pass, good catch, and the Bulldogs do advance it for 14 yards and a first down.
Donovan Smith starting the game at wide receiver. Now on the option, Hatton pitches. That's Byron Nettles, his first carry of the game, cuts it back inside and takes it out to about the 48-yard line. So we didn't think we were going to see a lot of Byron, but he comes in on the first series. He's a gamer. He wants to get in there and play.
Well, he's lost some carries here the last couple of weeks due to that injury, and he don't want to come off the field.
No, he doesn't. So it is 2nd and 6 from the 47. The little flare out to DeQuill. DeQuill across midfield. Breaks a couple of tackles. Still on his feet. Dragged down by his shirt before he gets into East Central territory and down to their 46. And that'll be close to a first down as well.
He's got an undershirt on that fit me now because they stretched that thing about 4 feet.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, he broke 2 or 3 tackles there. And even in that traffic, he's still very elusive. Was a yard short, so it's 3rd and 1. For the Bulldogs, 2 running backs in the backfield. They give to Byron Nettles. Nettles trying to get the corner, breaks 1 tackle, gets the first down, and is run out of bounds near the 42. He may have been trapped back there, but Byron stutter-stepped, made a nice move to keep the play alive.
Well, we picked up a block right there at the point of attack that helped spring him, and once he gets just a step, that's all he needs, he's going to advance it ahead for 3 or 4 yards.
So it's 1st and 10 at the East Central 43. The Bulldogs and Warriors now play action. Hatton going deep, wide open. JoJo Snell, forget about it. Touchdown Bulldogs. The wheel route puts up 6.
Isn't that pretty? You can see him come out of the backfield, split backfield. JoJo comes out as he's going to be like going to throw him a flare pass. Linebacker fell off of him. The safety wouldn't pick him up. He was wide open. Wasn't anybody within 10, 15 yards of him. Beautiful touch and go. Bulldogs hit.
So they go 70 yards on the opening possession to get the first touchdown of the game. Coming in to kick the extra point, Stephen Broccoli, and to hold Zach Pinkerton. Snap is down, kick is up, a knuckleball hits the crossbar or upright, and it is no good. And it looked like that didn't have anything to do with the wind. It looked like he did not get a good spot and had some trouble getting the ball up in the air. So the kicking woes for Broccoli continues, but Gulf Coast draws first blood. They lead 6-0 with 13:17 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the holder got it down. I'm not sure if he hit it high, but something happened there because it was a knuckleballer when it came off his foot, hit the uprights and came off. So Bulldogs 6-0. Looked like the hole was good. He just hit it bad.
Yeah, I think so. Steven's been struggling a little bit. Let's hope he gets that out of his system. And, then you're a kicker that's struggling a bit, and then you get out here in this wind, and then you're like, okay, well, what else can go bad? But so far, so good as far as the offense. They drive it right down the field, the 43-yard touchdown pass from Clint Hatton to JoJo Snell, and there was nobody within 20 yards of JoJo.
Well, the way the play was set up, we had 2 wideouts. 2 in the backfield. They both split, went both ways. Ball blows off the tee, and you're going to see a lot of that today. We're going to have somebody come in and hold it. And what happened, I think the linebackers thought they were going to throw a swing pass. And then once they went past, the safety's supposed to come up and give back help. Didn't do it. He was wide open.
He certainly was. So JoJo takes it 43 yards. Gulf Coast up 6-0. Kenner Johnson will hold it for Broccoli on the kickoff, and Stephen gets off a nice boot. Driving 5 yards back in the end zone is Ricky Hunt, and East Central will start their first offensive series, 1st and 10 from their 30-yard line, or 25 rather. And the quarterback, as we said, Brock Hall, has run for 4 touchdowns, has 448 yards receiving. He's thrown 3 touchdowns, but has been intercepted 5 times. And their offense, as we said, a study in transition after their quarterback got hurt. Their best running back, Keyshawn Shipp, also got hurt recently. So it's Hall. On the give and going nowhere that time is running back Leighton Holcomb. And Holcomb may have gotten a yard that time. Good penetration by the Bulldog defense. Check that. I'm sorry. That's Martin Johnson. My fault. Martin Johnson on the running back.
We had about 4 guys that hit him right at the point of attack, right at the line of scrimmage.
Johnson accounted for the only points last week for East Central. Now, 2nd and 10, no gain. Dawson Wells was in the neutral zone, but he got back before a penalty was called. Now Brock changing the play at the line. Opening moments, Gulf Coast leading 6-0. Now here comes Wells. Now Hall takes it on the option, and the Bulldogs string it out really nicely. Kenner Johnson out there stayed home, made sure Hall could not cut it back, and it's going to be 3rd and long for East Central.
Well, did you see Wells chase him all the way across the field from this side all the way across? That's just pure speed right there.
Cavellis Luckett and Travis Taylor were out there as well. Officially, a gain of 1. So it's 3rd and 9 from the 26. Opening moments, first quarter. Gulf Coast leading 6-0 on a 43-yard touchdown pass from Clint Hatton to JoJo Snell. Now Hall gets the signal. East Central going left to right on the far hash mark. He's got Johnson in the backfield, 2 wideouts to the left and 2 to the right. Hall takes the snap, 4-man rush. Hall now in trouble, is going to run it to the 25, to the 30, and man is he quick. Run out of bounds at the 38-yard line, so it appears Hall picked up the first down, and once he got 2 steps going, he was pretty quick.
He was quick. I thought we'd see a flag. I thought we had a hold over here. I'm going to watch it on replay. The wide receiver coming up on our right there, but maybe not. Maybe a good block. First down, East Central. We had them backed up, had them situation where they'd had to punt the ball, but we kind of let him get out.
You can see the speed of Hall. That's something Coach Campbell was worried about this week. He's very fast, and especially with the running game. 1st and 10, Hall. They set up the screen to Johnson. Johnson at the 40 to the 45 and finally dragged down near midfield. They had the screen set up perfectly. Gulf Coast got caught in a blitz, and that should be another East Central first down. Just a nice play call and good execution by the Warriors.
Bill, that's got to be, on a hot pursuing team like Gulf Coast, that's got to be one of the best plays offensively you can run to slow that rush down, and it worked well.
It did. Brandon Keel finally on the stop. Now 1st and 10 in midfield. It's Johnson on a little dive play. Takes it across midfield into Gulf Coast territory to the 47-yard line before he's dragged down. In there on the stop is Keel and Damian Gaines. It'll be 2nd and 8. As we said, 11 minutes to go, first quarter. Gulf Coast leading 6-0. Hall with 2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left, 1 running back in the backfield. Now they change up the play a little bit. You get the band of gold right down below us here at A.O. May Memorial Stadium. The Perkettes, they've got the shawls on today.
They do.
It's a little chilly. Now, Hall in the gun, takes the snap, a little flare out right, and dragged down before he can do anything is Freeman Gray. Nice tackle that time by Josh Keys, and Josh looks like he's picking up where he left off last week.
Well, Josh did exactly what you got to do. You don't have back help. When that ball's out there and you're going to give him that 1 step, you've got to tackle him right there.
Forward progress got to the 46, so it's 3rd and 6 for East Central. 10:15 to go. The Bulldogs leading 6-0. A win, and the Bulldogs are back into the playoffs for the 6th year in a row. 1 back behind Hall, 2 in the slot to the left, 1 to the right. Hall rolls to his left, looking for somebody to throw to. Now fires it up, and that pass is picked off by Nigel Green. Green to the 40, Green to midfield, into East Central territory, and this is a pick 6 for Nigel. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
No flags. Stepped it up, picked it off. There is a flag. Is that a flag right at the
I think that is, yeah. I think that's probably going to be a celebration. Let's see, they'll penalize them on the kickoff, I believe. If it stands, that is a 70-yard interception return by Nigel Green. And you see on the replay, I was told that Hall is not a very good passer downfield, and he threw it right into double coverage. Nigel Green playing center field.
I'm wondering if I'm going to see if he held the ball up going down the sideline. Sometime they'll throw a flag on it.
There was a penalty. I think it was a, let's see what we got. Did he call it? Whatever it is, it's 1st and goal, Bulldogs. Let's see what the flag is.
This is going to drive Coach Campbell crazy.
Unsportsmanlike.
Wow, it puts it
It
back.
must have happened before the touchdown. Otherwise, they would have penalized him on the kickoff. So the unsportsmanlike must have happened before Nigel got into the end zone, because they bring the ball all the way back to the 24-yard line. So hold the phone on that pick 6 by Green. Instead, Gulf Coast gets it. 1st and 10 from the 24. So whatever the case, it is a turnover, but it didn't go all the way. So 1st and 10, 3 wide outs to the left for the Bulldogs. On the speed sweep is Nettles. He cuts it back inside and is dragged down right at the 25-yard line. Nettles going nowhere thanks to Cordell Page, a former Gulf Coast Bulldog. Cordell from Goche.
Well, he stepped in and did. He held his ground, stepped in, the play turned in, and he made the tackle himself. Nettles does look a little better out there today. Looks like his cutting ability's a little better.
2 wide outs to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd down and 11. Nettles actually lost a yard that time. Bulldogs got a pick 6, but it was called back on an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Now play action. Hatton going over the middle, wide open. DeQuill Williams at the 10. DeQuill down to the 5. It's a Bulldog 1st down. DeQuill once again a man among boys.
He is, and he goes in that soft zone area, finds a hole. It's a beautiful pass by Clint, right on target.
The wind doesn't seem to be bothering Clint at all.
Not at this minute, it doesn't.
So 1st and goal, Bulldogs from the 5, trying to add to that 6-0 lead. Williams and Terry out to the left. Looks like Thornton in the backfield. And they give up the middle. Byron Nettles bulls his way down near the goal line, and he's brought down at the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal. And you're right, it doesn't look like the ankle's bothering Byron too much.
Take him out right now. They're going to put some guys. It looks like his golf going in, and looks like they're getting some guys in there with a little more beef.
See if they're going in the jumbo package here on 2nd and goal from the 1. Kind of a pseudo-jumbo, 2 superbacks to the left. Dietrich Goff in. At running back, they give to Goff on the inside draw. He muscles in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, they didn't get it on the pick 6. They get it the old-fashioned way. They earn it from the 1.
You know, Bill, they had both of our superbacks that time over on the left side. And as the play ran, it was actually a misdirection play that took it back to the right side. And Goff just used strength once he got hit at the line. Took it on in the end zone.
More than likely, the Bulldogs will go for 2 here after they missed the first extra point, and it looks like that's what they're going to do, and they will. So they'll line it up and go for the 2-point conversion. I think Hatton's going to sneak it. That's what I think. They've got 2 wide. Here comes Goff in. Okay, I was wondering why they didn't have a running back in the backfield. Goff comes back in after scoring the touchdown. Now Hatton throws the slant, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion by DeQuill Williams. So the Bulldogs are now up 14-0. So far, so good. The offense is in mid to late season form.
Well, the throw was good, the catch was good, and DeQuill's going to come over the bench. He's shaking up a little bit. I think he got tackled a little funny, as you see him favoring his right ankle, but he'll shake it off. He's a real gamer, and what a beautiful pass. Clint, that's a timing pattern. It's a slant timing pattern. Everything has to work just right. We're going to keep our eyes on DeQuill and see if he don't get some attention. He is favoring his right ankle. He's got it taped heavily down there.
See, I'm wondering if that was rug burn, because he doesn't seem to be carpet burn on the carpet. It happens.
You're right.
Now, the old AstroTurf, his skin would have come off. That stuff was cement. But this stuff is a lot more forgiving. You know, it's got the tire pellets, but still, when you drag a little bit and your skin is exposed, I'm wondering if that's what it was. We'll keep an eye on that down on the sideline. Whatever the case, DeQuill gets the 2-point conversion. So with 8:22 to go in the first quarter, the Bulldogs are up 14-0 and looking like they want to go back to the playoffs.
That's right.
Teeing it up, Kenner Johnson's going to hold it for Stephen Broccoli. Kicking it towards that south end zone. And a good solid kick by Broccoli. And it goes out of the end zone. So once again, East Central will start at the 25, but now they're down 14-0. And this is almost a perfect start for Gulf Coast, other than the little penalty on the unsportsmanlike conduct, which wiped out Nigel Green's pick 6. So I'm sure they'll have a good laugh about that in the meeting. Or, you know,
I'd honestly thought the quarterback who went across the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball a while ago when we picked it off.
All right, so Brock Hall tries again. 1st and 10 from the 25. A little flare out to the left. Running it is Ricky Hunt, and Hunt goes out of bounds near the 35, very close to an East Central first down. Just a little short wheel route to the left.
Showed some speed there, too, once the ball got out to him. I think whoever we had on the corner on that side thought he could get him straight in. I think that was Green, but he couldn't get him. He went around him. He He got the 10 yards and the first down, so they got the ball at their own 35.
First and 10, Warriors. Hall gives it to Johnson up the middle. Johnson's got some room across the 40, across the 45, into the secondary. Now in the Gulf Coast territory at the 40, and finally run out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Nobody could get a clean shot at Martin Johnson. As we said, he scored their lone touchdown last week on a 66-yard run.
Well, the Bulldogs had a run blitz to our defensive right side. They ran the ball to our defensive left side, and the rest was him. He did it all on his own.
So, East Central gets it into Gulf Coast territory for the first time today. They're down 14-0, trying to answer. Two wideouts to the right and left in the slot. High snap. They give it to Johnson, and he is walked down by the Bulldog defense, leading the way David Howell, who's back in action. Remember, he was out for a few weeks with concussion symptoms. And that just the timing got blown up on that play by the Bulldog defense and a high snap.
Almost went over the quarterback's head. I don't know if you was watching any of that Cincinnati-Louisville game last night. We'll talk about that in a minute.
2nd and 8, 2-yard gain by the Warriors. Hall takes the snap, a little flare out to the left, and going nowhere is Kyle Koch. Cavellis Luckett was making sure Koch could not get the edge, and it looks like he lost a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 10.
At the very end of the ball game. Was you watching that game last night?
I did not. I was at the Athletic Hall of Fame eating tons of roast beef.
At the very end of the ball game, they needed a field goal. Louisville did to tie the ball game. Cincinnati had them. And the coach waits the snap, and right at the snap, he calls timeout.
He did the old freeze job.
The snap goes way over the holder's head, and he'd have won the ball game.
Wow.
So what happens?
They came in, kicked it, and beat them, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah. 3rd down now. Brock going deep into double coverage, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Nigel Green on Blake Roberts. Nigel over there with Derek Moncrief, and as we said, their weakness, or Brock Hall's weakness, is the deep ball. That one a little bit underthrown. He's lucky Nigel didn't pick that one off either.
You see the wind a little bit hold up right there that held up. It actually hit the receiver in the back of his helmet.
So 4th and 11, East Central's going for it on the Gulf Coast 32. Let's see what the Bulldog D has for them. 14-0, 6:14 to go first quarter. Now the Warriors call their first time out of the half. They want to talk about this one.
I'd send the house.
Yeah.
4th and 11, I would. I'd send the house. Good crowd today. Seen a lot of our inductees, of course, are here. Seen a lot of our board members. And it is quite a chilly day here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium. Now, my truck thermometer showed 52 degrees when I got out of it.
I think it's correct, because what's what the thermometer in the Volvo showed on the way up here this morning, and I don't think the temperatures changed very much.
And I think with the overcast skies, we already got the lights on here at the stadium, I think you're going to see this thing go down over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Y'all get the blankets and the jackets and all of that out, because things are going to be a little cooler on the coast for the next 3 or 4 days.
Well, the thing I was hoping for was some sunshine, and, sunshine and maybe 65. Okay, a little chilly, but it's football weather. Instead, it's almost borderline raw. So.
Well, if you threw a little drizzle rain in with this, it would be a hamper, wouldn't it?
Yeah. At least we don't have to worry about the Frankenstorm on the East Coast. 4th and 11 now. Bulldogs on the blitz. They flush Hall. Hall trying to make something happen. He's going to try to run it, and he is dragged down by Brandon Keel. Containment equals a sack, and that stops the drive.
And that was inexperience right there. That shows that he hadn't been playing a whole season of quarterback at this league. Shows the speed of the linebackers to get over. He could have thrown that ball away, even though it's 4th down, or thrown it toward a receiver and tried to get a penalty downfield or a completion, but he tried to do too much himself, and speed in this league will catch up with you real quick.
What did Shep tell us the other nickname was? Count Stormula?
I don't know. He was coming up with some things, kind of putting you on the floor laughing over there. When you and him get together, I don't know.
It's bad. We talked about not being allowed in public, and that's probably right. Now on the reverse, it's DeQuill Williams. DeQuill's got 2 men to beat. He's run out of bounds at the 38. It works well. It's a first down, Bulldogs in East Central territory. That
worked beautiful, and they even got, when your quarterback throws you a block, you got to tip your hat to him. But this thing,
you know, Clint threw one last week on a reverse by Snell. This week does the same thing. Quickly to the line, the Bulldogs 1st and 10 from the 37. They're leading 14-0, 5:45 to go, first quarter. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. In the backfield is Nettles with Clint Hatton. Hatton looks out to his right and throws a little screen caught by that's Donovan Smith, and Smith couldn't keep his footing, so it'll be 2nd down.
Led him a little bit, don't you think? A little too far out in front of him, and he went down right there. Actually,
freshman couldn't keep his footing. It'll be 2nd and 12. That's actually a loss of 2. So Smith will come out, DeAdrian Terry in along with the Quill, 2 running backs behind Clint Hatton in the pistol formation. Now Hatton moves up, changes the play. Plenty of time on the play clock. Gulf Coast leading 14-0. Now the give, JoJo Snell up the middle. Snell, big room to the 30, to the 20, gets 1 block, still on his feet at the 15, and run down all the way at the East Central 10. That was pretty nice.
Well, you showed him last night on your show last night on the Blitz, and you know he's a team player. You could tell that he wants to touch, and one of the last comments he made was, "Give me some space, nobody will catch me," and that's what he said.
That's pretty much what
what happened right there.
All the way down to the East Central 9, 1st and 10. Bulldogs trying to add to this 14-0 lead. And now whistles blow and a flag comes down, and we'll see what this is about. This may have been a neutral zone infraction on East Central.
I think they had too many players on the field.
That's what it was. You were right, Jimmy. Illegal substitution, so that moves it down 5 more yards. That's the 2nd penalty on the Warriors this afternoon.
Because they ran 3 on and 2 went off, and I was looking for the other one to go off. He never did.
So 1st and goal now from the 4. Hatton looking left, throws a little flare out to Byron Nettles. He tiptoes in, touchdown Bulldogs. So Byron gets back into his mode of catching touchdown passes.
I'm glad to see that happen. He needed it, the team needed it, and it makes everybody feel better because he seems that his foot's doing much better out there today to get Byron back into scoring. It helps the whole offense. It helps the whole the team atmosphere out there because he is one of our offensive leaders.
And, you know, they've scored 2 touchdowns on these little wheel routes with the running backs coming out of the backfield. Now Broccoli for the extra point. That one is up, and it is good. So with 4:16 to go here in the first quarter, the Bulldogs now lead 21-0 over East Central. And, of course, it's still painfully early, but you got to start thinking we can. They're not. Coach Campbell's not going to let them start thinking ahead, but we can. It wouldn't surprise me if we would be here at this time next week taking on Northwest.
Well, I hope you got some things that you looked up this week to talk about because this might be a second half of a lot of subs playing. And
we discussed that on the way home. We may bomb you with stats, or somewhere deep in my subconscious, these stories are going to come out again, you know. So basically what's going on here, this is therapy for me. You know, as long as we keep blowing teams out, it's therapy sessions. But
it was pretty good last week. You know, you were getting pretty wild last week on some of your stories.
Oh, yeah, got to keep everybody involved. But Don Massengale told me, when you're telling your stories, just give me the score, too. And I said, Don, we were up by 40, okay? You knew that.
And it hadn't went anywhere. So.
Right, so we're good. If we get in trouble, I'm going to let you know. No, he was just joking around. He enjoyed that as well. Here comes Stephen Broccoli for the kickoff, and taking this one at the 3 is Johnson. Martin Johnson to the 15, to the 20, breaks 1 tackle to the 25, and is dragged down at the 33. Walking him down is Trey Wofford, so that's where East Central will start. Now down 21-0. You got to figure these guys, it's their last season, or last game of the season, so you got to figure they're just, I don't know how much, what I'm trying to say is I don't know how much will they're going to have left. I'm talking about the Warriors.
It's kind of hard to motivate them, too. They know they're playing against a very good ball club. Things they're trying not working real well. So you wonder when the players, you hope they'd play all the way through the ball game, but it's kind of tough.
Up the middle is Johnson, and he picks up maybe 2 yards before he's gobbled up by the Bulldog defense. Good penetration that time by Gulf Coast. Coming in, Brandon Keel, along with a couple others. It'll be 2nd down and We'll call it 7 after the 3-yard pickup. 3:45 to go, and Gulf Coast leading 21-0 over East Central. Hall with 3 wideouts to the right and 1 to the left. Martin Johnson is his running back. Bulldogs showing blitz, then they back off. Now Johnson rolls out, tries to set up the screen. He does to Johnson, but Johnson may have gotten a yard that time. Coming back to make the play, finished Armstrong, along with a couple other Bulldogs, and this time they read the screen and still blitzed him.
Closed well that time. When he threw the screen, when he did the double back to throw the screen out, you could see our pursuit going to it. So our guys recognized it pretty quick, got over it, shut it down.
3rd and 7 for East Central. 3 wideouts to the right and 1 to the left. Now Bulldogs come up in a little tighter coverage. Now Nigel Green backs off a little bit. Hall takes the snap, rolls to his right. Hall throws and it was nearly intercepted. Derek Moncrief had one, and he tried to run before he caught it. It'll be 4th down.
He was looking down.
Yeah, he was. He was wanting some of that pick 6 action. Still a good job by the Bulldog defense. There was really nowhere for Hall to go, and we're already seeing why he was a wide receiver. He's doing a good job managing the offense, but he is not a quarterback. He's a running quarterback, but his throws aren't very accurate. Hall, a sophomore from Tuscaloosa. Now back to punt it away is Austin Franklin. He takes the snap, and that's not going to be good for anybody except the Bulldogs. That got off the side of his foot. He did an end-over-end shot, and they mark it out of bounds at the Gulf Coast 48, so that's maybe a 15-yard punt.
That's going to give the Bulldogs possession already on the East Central side of the 50-yard line, and as you said, it went straight off the side of his foot.
On the instep, it looked like, there's usually the shank job where it goes off the outside of the right foot. This time it looked like it was one of those inside miscues. 3 wideouts to the left for the Bulldogs as they start at the 48, leading 21-0. Now on play action, Hatton going deep. He's got DeQuill on the post, and the pass is incomplete. And making a nice defensive play is Ben Brooks. Brooks easily saved a touchdown that time because DeQuill had 3 steps on him.
If anything he did then, and I don't know if the wind played a factor in it, is the ball went straight to him. If he throws it out and leads him a little bit more, that's a touchdown.
And if you want to be real, yeah, it was.
A good defensive play that time, by the way, because usually he jumps up and picks those down anyhow.
If you really want to be nitpicky, you could have said he got there early, but I think it was a good defensive play. Brooks made a nice one. So it's 2nd and 10. Now they give up the middle. That's Anton Thornton bulling his way down to the 41 before he's pushed backwards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Thornton's first carry of the afternoon.
Kind of wondering a situation like this right now, the way Goff had last week, the way he picks up. He's good for 3-4 yards at a pop. But we'll see what they call up, dial up.
3rd and 3 from the 41, 1:57 to go. First quarter, Gulf Coast leading 21-0 over East Central as the Bulldogs try to clinch that #1 seed in the South. Now the screen left to DeQuill Williams. DeQuill trying to get to the sticks, and he is dragged down, but it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to corral him. He may have actually lost a yard or got back to the line of scrimmage. So 4th and 3 coming up for the Bulldogs, and it looks like they're going to go into the jumbo package.
Should have got a 15-yard penalty. That hand went under that helmet, pulled him down.
Had a horse collar feel to it, but whatever the case, it's 4th and 3. Now they'll line up with that 2 super back formation to the left. Now last time they did a little misdirection draw. Let's see what they do with Goff this time. Now they go play action out of the backfield, and the pass is incomplete. I think he was looking for Marlon Pope. They hit on a big gain on that play last week, but Pope and Amaker seem to get crossed up on their signals, and East Central takes over on downs.
He just overshot him. I think Pope was supposed to win a little deeper and out, and he didn't quite get there. Or, like you said, Amaker, that we had 2 receivers in the same spot. Somebody did something wrong.
Somebody zigged when they were supposed to zag. Somebody shucked when they were supposed to jive. Whatever the case, East Central takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 41. They're down 21-0 to the #9 Bulldogs here in the regular season finale and the Bulldogs homecoming. Brock in the gun. Gibbs and Johnny Beeman has it. Beeman trying to get outside, and he is dragged backwards by Trey Wofford. There was no chance for Beeman to go anywhere.
Good string out by the Bulldogs. They read the play. Wofford got out quick, hung on, pushed him out of bounds, a loss of 2 yards, 2nd and 12. Just wouldn't give up.
Darius Jones was also in on that tackle, a loss of 2 by Beeman. Beeman, a 5'7", 180-pound freshman from New Hope. Inside a minute now to play in the first quarter with Gulf Coast comfortably up 21-0 over South Division foe East Central. Coming in motion is Giorgio Grace. Now they give up their fake it, and now it's Hall trying to get the corner strung out again by the Bulldogs. Looked like there was a hold over there, and finally they call it as Brock takes it out of bounds at the 48. When you see his shoulder pads in the air, I think that's a hold.
You definitely could tell that.
Watch on the replay.
We were wanting the flag, and right here you can see it right over here. The hole's already happening, still happening. He's got him latched up now. There's no doubt about it.
He just about took his shirt off.
If you want to show a wide receiver the thing not to do to hold, that's the perfect thing to show him.
I think it is, and that'll wipe out that gain by Brock Hall. The third penalty so far by East Central here in the first quarter. First quarter dominated by the Bulldogs. So it takes it all the way back to the 29. It is now 2nd and 22 for East Central.
You know, Gulf Coast has already got a brand new defensive line out there right now.
In that 3-3 stack. And this will be the last play of the first quarter. No, they won't get it off as the horn sounds, ending the first quarter of play. A very productive first quarter by Gulf Coast. 3 touchdowns, 2 by Clint Hatton on the passes. And Gulf Coast leads it 21-0 heading into the second quarter. I tell you what, we'll take a 30-second break and get ready for second quarter action here on Bulldog Live and 103.1 FM, WOSM. And back live here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium. The Bulldogs leading 21-0 as we are beginning the second quarter. As we said, East Central facing a 2nd and 22 from their own 29 after a holding penalty. East Central now going from right to left. And Hall back to pass. He's got time. And finding a man at the 50 and then dropping it is Ricky Hunt. Hunt had a first down, but he tried to run before he caught it, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Well, Steve Davis very upset. Safety coverage didn't come in time. Bulldogs had 2 deep coverage that time on the near side. One of our safeties was supposed to have coverage on the wide receiver was wide open. The ball was even slow getting there.
So it's 3rd and 22 for Gulf Coast, or excuse me, for East Central. They're on their own 29. They're down 21-0. You see on the near sideline, Buddy Mills, our Spirit of Gulf Coast honoree. He was honored last night. Seeing my buddy Kenny Breel, one of the members of the 1982 state championship team. They'll be honored today as well. The whole Breel family up here. Now Hall in the gun, in trouble. He's flushed out and throws it back across his body. It's tipped and incomplete. Tipped by Dawson Wells. Fittest Armstrong had one, but his body was going one way, the ball was going another. Whatever the case, it'll be 4th down. When you throw across your body, bad things happen.
They do, and you know, our guys were going 90-0 for coverage and tipped the ball, and it came back to the near side. Couldn't get the reception, the interception, so we got to punt it away.
Austin Franklin, the punter. He'll have the wind behind him a little bit. A high snap. It goes over his head. Here we go. Franklin gets away, tries to do a rugby kick. It turns into a Garo Premium play. It's picked up by Eli Hughes, and that's a Bulldog touchdown.
You can't. I don't know how you called it. He punted it at about a yard, and it was picked up by Hughes.
He did the Garo Yepremian play in the Super Bowl with the Dolphins and Redskins is what happened. Watch, it goes over his head. Here comes Eli Hughes, who flushes him. He tries to do a left-footed rugby kick and misses it. Totally whiffs, so that becomes a fumble. Eli picks it up at the 18 and takes it in.
It's great for the highlight films, I can tell you that.
It certainly is. I knew watching all those NFL films would pay off one day, and it did on that one. That's crazy.
Well, we got another. Do we have another a flag for too many people?
Too many football follies is what that flag was about.
They didn't mark the penalty off. They just let him go off.
I don't know what that was, but Broccoli's in to attempt another extra point out of the hold of Zach Pinkerton. It is up, and it is no good. You saw what happened. It got right up into the wind and went straight left.
That's exactly what he was doing before game and pregame.
I saw that.
He kicked a dozen of them, and he's trying to aim it right, kick it right through the middle, but there's too much wind. You can see it whipping across there. You've got to angle that thing for the north goal pole and then get it blow back, to allow the wind to blow it back through there. So the Bulldogs, again fell on the extra point. He's done a good job all year long, and the wind's giving him some problems today. He had a bad game last week. He was down a little bit. I talked to him today, but he said, I'm over all of that. We're going to have a better game. But, these kickers, it's kind of hard to get through to them sometimes.
It certainly is.
Just lost.
But other than a couple of extra points, it's all good. Well, yeah, you got it back. Oh, she took it from you. Well, that's what happens.
I'm all right as long as we're in here. I'm good.
In the friendly confines of the press box where we just get to watch everybody freeze to death. And it's really, the air temperature is chilly, but it's not that cold. It's just that wind coming in with no sunshine. Makes it kind of brisk outside, but no briskness for the Bulldogs. They're leading 27-0 over East Central with 14:33 to go here in the first half. Broccoli does a little sky kick, and it's taken at the 29 via the fair catch by Blake Roberts, so that's where East Central will start.
Probably a smart thing, that wind's whipping like it is, to kick it up, get it high enough to force them to call a fair catch. Give them the ball on the 29-yard line, but the Bulldogs have the 27-zip lead.
They do, as East Central continues to go right to left here in the second quarter. I invite you to tune in at halftime. You'll be hearing and seeing all the homecoming festivities on the field. Right now, Brock Hall has the East Central offense, and before they can get things going, I believe they have to reset the clock.
Our ball boy dropped one of the balls. We had an extra football on the field that time.
Yeah, you can only have one on the field, at least last time I checked. 1st and 10, kind of a high snap, and now a flag comes in, and there's going to be a procedure issue on East Central. That was like a snap my 8-year-old son would do. It went straight up in the air.
Well, the penalty's on him. He double snapped. He moved the ball, and then he snapped it a second later, so the penalty's actually on the center.
It's a good call, Jimmy. I didn't see him do that. That's why it was so funky looking. It's almost like a double hit if you're hitting out of the sand trap and you don't get enough of the ball. Chris, you agree with me as if you've been there before. Chris, our slow-mo technician, said, yeah. Now Brock in trouble, fumbles the football. It's free and taken at the 9. I believe one of the East Central linemen got to it, but another near disaster caused by Cavellis Luckin and Warren Conway.
Well, what a power rush. Taylor had an opportunity. He's going to dive, but right there, the East Central player comes in there. Taylor went in for, I guess, to slap the ball.
Kyron Samuels is the man who recovered it for East Central, but now it's 2nd and 30. Might as well be 2nd and Soche for East Central. They're down 27-0 and going backwards on this drive. The ball all the way back at the 9. Hall gives up the middle to Johnson, and he takes it out to about the 14-yard line, so a pickup of 5. It'll be 3rd and 25 coming up.
Kill and Taylor in on the stop that time. These guys have got them pinned back. All at the 14-yard line, their own 14-yard line. They got 3rd down and a ways to go.
Yeah, you get all the way to their own 29, or rather 39, to get a first down, and they're on the 14. So 3 wideouts to the left.
These guys beat a decent ball club in Hines.
Yeah, they did. Hall takes the snap out of the gun. 4-man rush by the Bulldogs, going over the middle, and he got a man out there and overthrew him. Somehow getting behind 3 people was Freeman Gray, but the pass was way overthrown, and that'll force East Central to punt, and I think the Bulldogs dodged a bullet there.
Well, Stefan, look at him. He's getting on his guys right now. He's got triple coverage back there to watch deep, knowing that they need to get the ball out to the 40-yard line for a first down, and we didn't have coverage within 5 yards of him. That could have possibly been a touchdown if he catches it.
And we dodge a bullet there, but was there a penalty? They're moving the ball up. I think while we were kibitzing on that play.
That was a word. The only thing I can relate that to is cat food. I don't know.
Kibbles and bits?
That's a good word.
I think it has something to do with bridge.
Okay.
Anyway, it's now first down from the 29. I didn't see anyone. I don't know what the penalty was, but it was on the Bulldogs. Now quarterback draw. Hall takes it across the 35 and is taken down with a nasty hit by Kenner Johnson at the 36. Other than that play, the only thing gaining yardage for East Central is that bag on the field.
That Walmart bag or whatever it is blowing across there. And
the head linesman tried to get it. Couldn't. Referee ended up taking it down. Are we in the Meadowlands here? What's going on?
This stuff blowing everywhere. A towel came out or blew from somewhere.
2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain by Brock Hall. After the mysterious penalty, which we'll try to find out what it was a little bit later. Now giving up the middle, that's Beeman. Beeman cuts it out to his right and takes it out to about the 42-yard line. And that'll be an East Central first down.
Well, good job of cutback. I still don't know what the penalty was. It must have been a personal foul.
May have been roughing the passer.
Could have been. Like you said, we were kibbling or whatever we were doing, and we didn't
kibitzing,
yeah, we didn't get to see it.
Well, he didn't come over the referee, or if he made the call, he just kind of halfway did it. Whatever the case, 1st and 10 for East Central from their own 41. They're down 27-0. Hall rolls to his right, now cuts back. Now he's in trouble. Now he's got some room to run across the 45, across midfield, and run out of bounds at the Gulf Coast 46-yard line, and that'll be another first down, and that was the main thing they were worried about, Hall's elusiveness.
You know, if they had somebody else could hand the ball to him, we might be in trouble. This kid has all the abilities to be a fine running back.
He was a wide receiver. Their quarterback got hurt, so Hall became the signal caller, and he got his team a first down at the Gulf Coast 46. Now Hall, little screen pass, and it's tipped and incomplete. Travis Taylor had it in his hands, but he couldn't hold on. It's 2nd down.
Travis had him an interception, but he was not being knocked to his back. See it on the replay, and he just couldn't hang on to it.
That was a lineman's dream right there. Instead, it falls on the A.L. May Stadium turf. So 2nd and 10 for East Central. They're down 27-0. 11:18 to go first half as the Bulldogs try to clinch another South Division title. It would be the 6th South Division title since 2005. Hall's got 3 wideouts to the right on play action and throws it outright. Pass is caught by Ricky Hunt, and Ricky Hunt gets up to the line of scrimmage and just falls backward. Good coverage that time by the Bulldogs. Josh Keys leading the way, and it'll be 3rd down coming up.
Excellent spot of the ball they're going to give him because he brought it back on his own motion. He wasn't knocked back there, but they're going to spot it right at the 45-yard line. 3rd down, probably a long 8.
Yeah, they gave him forward progress. 3rd and 9 officially. As we said, 10:42 to go first half. Gulf Coast in front, 27-0.
Don't see much enthusiasm coming out of that huddle.
Yeah, it's just about time for them to warm up the bus. That's what Bulldog fans are hoping. In the gun, Hall in trouble. Now he's going to run it. Hall to the 40 and dragged down from behind by Cavellis Luckett. And that was a great shoestring tackle by Cavellis. I think he prevented a first down.
He did. He was going to get a first down on the far side through scrambling. Luckett gets just enough of the ankle to trip him up, and down he goes at the 40. So now you're looking at a 4th down and 4. Naturally, they'll go for it.
They'll go for it. Nothing to lose. Down 27-0. Band of Gold trying to disrupt the signals of the East Central offense. There's only 7 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to get this one off quickly. 3 seconds on the play clock. And finally, East Central just has to call a timeout. So the noise and some indecision forced East Central to burn a timeout. It looks like defensive coordinator Steve Davis of the Bulldogs bringing his troops over, trying to regroup them.
I don't think, excuse me, Bill, I don't think they're quite aggressive right now as they have been in the first quarter. I think our defense, they're doing their job, but they're not as aggressive as going after the running back or after the football like they were in the first quarter. And I think he's just juicing them up a little bit. Hey, guys, we're not taking any plays off. We're going to play football. It's hard to play when you look up here and see 27 zip. You hadn't even got halfway through we're halfway through the second quarter and you're up 27 zip. But still in all, you are a championship caliber ball club. Let's play like one.
The opposite of that is Southern Miss at the end of the third quarter. Rice leads them 31-7 as the woes continue for the Golden Eagles. Here it's 4th and 4 for East Central. Bulldogs showing blitz. 2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. Hall directing traffic. Takes the snap. Here come the Bulldogs, and the pass is incomplete. They were trying to do a little hitch pattern over to Freeman Guy, but Josh Keys just got in the way of it. And the Bulldog defense holds.
We had blitz coming, we had pressure, and we had good coverage on the receivers. So if that pass is going to be thrown to be caught, it's going to be picked off.
So once again, the Bulldog defense responds. And the offense is on the field at their own 40 with Clint Hatton at quarterback. Hatton gives up the middle. Big hole for Byron Nettles. Now Nettles breaks it outside and across midfield and down to the East Central 42. Great job by Byron. You see the speed there, but now he's coming up a little gimpy.
He got tackled again when the tackler fell on that ankle again, and what happens is, it starts hurting him and he has to come off. But he can give you 15 quick yards faster than any back you've ever seen.
From the 43, first down. Now in is Thornton. Thornton right up the middle. Huge hole down to the 30 and down to the East Central 29. And that diesel engine known as the Gulf Coast running game is getting fired up.
Plays coming right back in. Got some time to spend with that offensive line today. I used to be a lineman.
This is a lineman's dream when you see those running backs doing that. 1st and 10 from the 30. Bulldogs trying to add to the 27-0 lead. Play action. Pump fake. Going deep to DeQuill. That's too easy. And that's another touchdown to DeQuill Williams. And he got hammered in the end zone. Let's see if he's okay.
That should be a penalty because it's a flagrant hit to the helmet. He's knocked out. Now, he held on to the ball, but he's out. And the bad thing about that is when you get concussions, you got to look down the road and see when he can come back and play. You can see helmet to helmet right there. That should have been a 15-yard penalty right there.
Desmond Brown laid the hit on him, and you see Danny Anderson and the Gulf Coast training staff, Steve Campbell, also very concerned. And I don't like the way this looks at all. As you can see, DeQuill, he may have been knocked out.
He's out cold. I mean, he's not moving at all. They're talking to him, I know, but he has not moved anything. The amazing thing is he hung on to the football. Watching the replay and watch the point of attack right there,
yep.
You see helmet to helmet, and then a forearm in the back of the helmet. He had 2 opportunities to throw a flag. I know if the officials would sit back and watch what we're looking at on the replay, they wouldn't like what they see, and he's still down. Bill, he's not moving at all.
This is really scary. You can hear a pin drop here at A.O. May Memorial Stadium after DeQuille catches a 30-yard touchdown pass, and now they're rolling him over and trying to get DeQuille immobilized as they take a look at him. And I think that's Dr. Noblin, Jeff Noblin out there, Dana Sharp, Danny Anderson as well.
Well, at least he's in super hands.
And now it looks like he's starting to move a little bit.
He got his bell rung. You know, now day and time with these concussion deals, they're super serious about them. And this is you're looking at, you know, one of the top receivers, if not the top receiver in the whole country, who just caught that touchdown pass. And you're looking at the chances of him may have to sit out a ball game.
That's his 14th touchdown reception this season. As we said, that's second in the MGCCC, and just a nasty hit. It was definitely helmet to helmet. Shep, that was nasty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And you know, I'm sure you've already talked about the fact that, you know, DeQuille really, I mean, he went right down. He's sitting up now. Dr. Jeff Noblin out here talking with him right now, and the great training staff we have here at Gulf Coast. But, you know, he went right down and pretty much just laid there. I don't know if he got knocked out. I'll try to find out and get a report a little bit later on, but he did not move for a good 20 or 30 seconds. And now is rolled over and is now standing up. And you could say, I mean, he is woozy.
Yeah.
Very, very quiet here on the sidelines and in the stands.
Yeah, you could hear a pin drop up here and down there.
Yes. So he's got his helmet off. He's walking off without
That's
any
a good
help.
sign, yeah.
So I'll see what I can find out, and I'll get a report back to you guys.
Real quick, what was the other name for the Frankenstorm?
Count Stormula.
Okay, I said it was Count. I said something, but that wasn't right. Count Stormula. Okay, got it. We'll get back with you in a little while.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Shep, down on the sideline. Count Stormula. But in all seriousness, we're very happy that DeQuille is okay. They're bringing him over, and it looks like I think he just got knocked woozy.
He did. He got knocked out. He didn't move, and to hang on to the ball and do that, you know, what an athlete.
Now in for the extra point, Stephen Broccoli. Snap is down, the kick is up, and that one's right through. So Broccoli corrects for the wind, and with 8:49 to go, the Bulldogs add to their lead. It's already 34-0 over the East Central Warriors. You know, Gulf Coast has won 9 in a row against East Central. So this is a team they've had a lot of success against, it goes without saying.
The statement being made right now, there's no doubt about it, the Bulldogs completely on both sides of the takeaway situation. We talked about it last week. We hadn't today yet, but, you know, we're way up high on takeaways. And when you do that and you got a decent ball club, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And, you know, I think we got one much better than a decent ball club because, you know, we got youngsters just like what you just saw DeQuille make that catch. These kids are playing high school ball last year, and you see them step in here and move it up to the next level. These guys are showing that they're for real. You know, rank us number 9, that's fine. It'll play itself out. But we keep playing the way we're playing, it's going to be hard to beat us through these playoffs.
I don't think that was a dirty hit by Desmond Brown, but it was a penalty. He was trying to knock the ball out, and instead it became a helmet-to-helmet hit, and I think that's what happened on that play. It wasn't one of those where he was, you know, hitting a defenseless receiver, but, you know, when you go over the middle, sometimes that happens, and it just happened to collide helmets. So the good news is we're looking down on the sidelines. Danny Anderson's talking to DeQuille. Dr. Noblin was looking at DeQuille, you know, checking his eyes, making sure his, you know, pupils, and that's what they do, checking for concussions and those kind of things. And the good news is he was able to walk off. It wasn't one of those stingers where they, you know, they have to, you know, mobilize them and, you know, put the neck collar and all that. So good news there, and another sky kick by Stephen Broccoli taken at the 27 once again by Blake Roberts, and that's where East Central will start with 8:49 to go in the second quarter, and Gulf Coast pouring it on, now up 34-0.
I don't want to disappoint our listeners and our watchers, but you may not see DeQuille the rest of the day. That might have done it for him.
Yeah, I think you're right, and why risk it if that is the case? And with concussions, so much in the news today, the last thing you want is to send him back out there if he's not completely healthy. Because you hear about all these guys that have had concussions and those kind of things, just having long-term problems. Now a run up the middle by Martin Johnson out to the 36. of Gulf Coast. Johnson picking up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. 8:35 to go. Gulf Coast leading 34-0. And, oh, by the way, Clint Hatton now has 1, 2, 3 touchdown passes here in the first half.
Got to be getting up close to the top. I don't know who's the number 1 guy, but he's got to be getting close to him.
2nd and 1. Officially, that game was 9. Now Johnson up the middle, gets the first down and takes it out to the 43. And East Central, between the 20s, really hasn't been that bad today. That's their 7th first down of the first half.
They've moved the ball, and this is a team just like the play we saw right then. The back took it straight ahead. He hit our linebacker hard. They did bring him down, but he got the first down. Not a bad ball club. They wouldn't beat teams like Hines if they were a bad ball club. They're better than I thought they would be. They've shot them on self in the foot. The turnovers has killed them.
2 turnovers have led directly to points, and now that's not a legal procedure. I'm going to push my lineman in the back. It looked like Kevondre Watford was trying to line up behind Bart Wiggum, and he just pushed him down.
If I'm Wiggum, I'm saying something in the huddle to him right now. He just shoved him down.
So that'll move him back 5 after the procedure penalty. Hey, Jimmy, I was told at the Alumni Hall of Fame we got to give a shout-out to the Boddickers up in Greenville, Mississippi. Each week they get together and have a perk party and watch us on streaming video. So much love to them up in the Delta. Now 1st and 15, Brock rolls out to his right. He's in trouble coming back the other way, and Dawson Wells had him, and that pass, I believe, is incomplete. It looked like Brandon Keel might have scooped it. Dawson Wells put the pressure on Hall. Watch this, coming through two is Sherman Boyd. And Hall does a Houdini act to get out of there.
Well, he's not outside the tackle box, and he threw it straight to, there's a receiver.
Yeah, it hit the ground, okay. Live action, it looked like Keel might have scooped that up, but the ball did hit the ground. Good call by the referee, but it's 2nd and 15 for East Central.
Good job, guys. You guys really nailed that one. That was a beautiful shot there to show that the ball did hit the ground.
Hall gives up the middle to Johnson. Now he kicks it outside and is swarmed over by a dark blue wave of Bulldogs. Brandon Keel in there leading the way. David Howell among others. Xavier Bingham came up. Trey Wofford. He wasn't going anywhere.
We're swapping a lot of players in and out, in and out. Coach Davis, the ability to play almost 2 complete defenses out there. He swaps them in and out.
Somehow he picked up a yard then, so it'll be 3rd and 14. 6:38 to go here in the first half. Gulf Coast all over East Central, 34-0.
They're not even out of the huddle, and the play clock's down to 5.
And now they're going to have to burn what I believe is their last time out of the first half. Not as if they're going to really need it or anything, being down 34-0, but they do burn their last time out facing a 3rd and 14 at their own 39. Well, the tempo, once again, at least by the Bulldog offense, is up in the red, as we say.
Well, we hadn't had to do a whole lot. The Bulldogs have had some big striking plays today, and both running the football and by air attack. It's good to see all of them get playing time. He's played a bunch of players already today.
And with the exception of one game, they've been able to do that. Go down to the field. Shep, any word on DeQuill? I see him standing up over there. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah, I talked to Dr. Jeff Noblin, from Danville Orthopedics. He said he got basically knocked out and didn't really remember much from anything that happened just before the catch. And don't anticipate to see him back out on the field the rest of the day today. He should be good to go next week in the playoffs.
We figured that as well. Now, catching it on the far sideline and dragged out of bounds by East Central is Giorgio Grace. We'll get back to you, Shep, at the end of the first half. Thanks for that report. And as we thought, DeQuill probably not coming back in the first half. Meanwhile, on a 3rd and 14, Grace gets behind the coverage, and now East Central a threat to score here.
Well, wasn't that Wells that he beat back deep across the way? But
Moncrief and Bingham over there as well. But He got behind him.
I just don't know why we're so lackadaisical on this deep coverage stuff.
Now on the keeper, it's Hall, and he is stuck in the backfield and dragged backward with bad intentions is Brandon Keel. And that's going to bring up a second down. Trey Wofford was in on that as well.
Well, that's just Keel showing his speed and reading the play and the ability to get back there and get the quarterback and hang on to him. He's a staple down there in the middle of that defense for Gulf Coast, and he's had 2 good years up here.
Forward progress gave Hall a 1-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 9 from the 12. Hall takes the snap. Now he's in trouble. Pocket collapses. He runs to his left. Now he's in more trouble and just throws it away. He was out of the pocket, but they're going to call intentional grounding.
That's got to be grounding. The head guy threw the flag. The line judge shaking his head no, but that's got to be grounding. I'm sorry.
And Coach Campbell right there to throw in his 2 cents.
Well, he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage, so that's a loss of down also. And
Huge penalty.
They put the ball back where the play happened, so that's what the penalty is.
Yeah, not only does he lose it down, he loses all that yardage. So coming up, it's going to be 3rd and a half acre for East Central.
Now, what he could have done, he could have thrown the ball out of the end zone,
right,
and it would have been okay. But he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage.
No, he just threw a little floater out of bounds, and that's going to push it all the way back to the 23-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 20. They faced a lot of these. They did a minute ago. They just converted a 3rd and 14, but this is 3rd and 20. 3 wide out stacked to the right. Now 1 in motion, 1 to the left. Hall takes the snap. 3-man rush. He's in trouble. He's flushed and throws it out, and that pass is picked off and called incomplete. Josh Keys picked it off. I don't think he got his feet in. Now, one referee said he caught it, but the other overruled him. Whatever the case, it's going to be 4th down. Let's look at this again. Travis Taylor was about to walk down Hall. He got his knee down.
He did. He hit inbounds.
I think he got his knee down. That's why one of the referees called it complete. The one who may have been shielded by the East Central player did not see his knee come down.
He did make the interception. The replay one day coming up in the near future. Junior college will go to replay, but
as usual, the Bulldog Live staff all over that one. So 4th and 20. Hall in trouble again. Now runs up front, and he is sandwiched at the 25. Trey Wofford in there with Whitney Richardson, and Gulf Coast will take over on downs once again. Great pressure.
Just a great amount of pressure. Steve Davis went out there, I told you a while ago, and told those guys, we're going to pick up the intensity. We're way ahead, but we're going to play like champions. And you've seen, since he made that little stop a while ago, things have picked up.
And I think he was getting to Richardson there. That could have been a spearing call, but he might have gotten away with one. I think that's what he was getting on to him about. Anyway, 1st and 10 Gulf Coast. They hold on downs, and they have it. 4:51 to go first half, leading 34-0 against East Central. Clint Hatton standing at his own 20 in the pistol formation. Gives up the middle. Big hole by Anton Thornton. Thornton across the 30 to the 31. Just your typical 6-yard gain on first down.
Straight ahead off the left side of the offensive line. Right behind Sellers. Good block.
Picked up 6 at 2nd and 4. Hatton now on the option, pitches to Thornton. Thornton cuts it back across the 35, across the 40, across midfield, and run out of bounds at the East Central 40. A nice run on the left side by Thornton, but there is a flag back at the Gulf Coast 33, so this one may be coming back.
Probably going to be a holding call on a wide receiver. And it is.
Illegal hands, illegal block. Second penalty on the Bulldogs wipes out a nice gain by Thornton.
Yeah, the guys, when I went down on the field and talked to them, the offensive linemen were down there flexing their muscles and all, showing, they're just cold and they wear these cut-off shirts and all. They wanted to know why we don't talk enough about them up here. And I said, guys, I was an offensive lineman, and I talk about you all the time. And So we're going to give you some love right now. We've enjoyed what you've done this year. You have done a great job in opening the holes for all of these running backs that we've got.
One guy I don't want to make upset is Ramsey Sellers. Even though Ramsey's not the biggest one, I think he's one of the toughest in the state. As Thornton on the draw play takes it out to the 25 and picks up a couple after the ball was moved back on the penalty. But they've been terrific this season. Jonathan Stubbe, Ben Wiles, he's been in there. Cordarley Gaines has made some nice plays. The Frigos.
I tell you, our guys, and they're not. This is not the biggest group by no means that we've had up here.
3:33 to go first half. 3rd and 10 from the 25. Coming in motion, DeAdrian Terry. They throw it out to DT. DT at the 30 and is taken down at the 33. He needed one more block to get it out close to the first down. But, he's even excited, even though he didn't make the first down. He's happy to get the ball.
We're going to get 15 more roughing the passer, so we're going to get a first down.
Now, this guy's really quick on his signals. He throws the flag down. He did one of these, and he already had the flag back in his back pocket.
I hadn't heard him call anything yet. He must not have a mic. He's not mic'd up. Okay, the wind's blowing so bad, they're not using it. Okay.
There we go. He's very efficient, very quick with his signals. So we gotta step up our spotting on that.
He's probably a Mississippi State fan. He's wanting to get this thing over with so he can get fed and get in front of the TV and all and watch kickoff for the State-Alabama game.
Takes it all the way out to the 49, so it's 1st and 10 Gulf Coast. They're leading 34-0 over East Central as the Bulldogs try to go to the playoffs for the 6th straight year. Now the bubble screen, Tyrone Williams picks up about 4 or 5 before he's knocked out of bounds in East Central territory.
Steve Campbell was wanting a timeout and didn't get it.
He was
signaling for it and didn't get it.
At the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Coming up in halftime, you'll be able to watch and hear all the homecoming festivities as we present our court from all the campuses. 2nd and 6, it was a 4-yard gain by Tyrone Williams. Eli Hughes in the backfield now for the Bulldogs. 2 wideouts to the left. Williams flanked out to the right. Now a play action. Hatton looking left, going deep, floats one up, and the pass is incomplete. Looking for Donovan Smith. The ball got hung up in the wind a little bit, and it'll be 3rd down.
Had a little body check going over there just as the ball got there. You see right there, but he did turn around and look for the football. That's why there was no flag.
Yeah, it was good coverage by Za Reese. He spells his first name Z-A. That's one you don't see every day. Za.
Sure don't.
As opposed to Jaja Gabor, you just have Za Reese. 3rd and 6, 2:32 to go first half. Play action, Hatton. The pass is incomplete. He overthrew JoJo Snell. He had to throw it high. There was a pair of hands from an East Central defender there to kind of send it up in the air. Let's see. Yeah, he had to try to get it over that defender, and if he'd have gotten that pass away, Snell might have had a chance, but whatever the case, it's 4th down, and Zach Pinkerton comes in for the first time today to punt, and he'll be punting into the breeze.
Pinkerton, not many chances in the last couple of games to punt the ball.
Standing on his own 38, 2 men deep for East Central to receive it. Zach, a little bit of pressure and gets the punt away, and it gets held up into the wind. Takes an East Central bounce and is downed at the 27-yard line, so that's where the Warriors will start, down 34-0, 2:18 to go first half.
Well, coming up, if the Bulldogs win today, coming up next Saturday, we don't know the time yet. Bill seems to think 2 or 2:30. The first round of the Mississippi Junior College playoffs will get underway. Gulf Coast will play host to Northwest. East Mississippi will play host to Colin.
And we'll have more details this week on Bulldog Live and through Twitter and Facebook. Now the give to Martin Johnson, takes it across the 30 to the 31 in the waning moments of the first half.
I don't want to go back to the East Mississippi Stadium and play. It's a nice stadium. It's got an elevator, thank goodness. I showed it to Dr. Graham. I wanted her to know that they have an elevator at East Mississippi.
I'm sure she enjoyed that. No, they did a nice job putting that stadium together. By the way, Northwest leading Jones 20-14, second quarter up in Senatobia. And now Run up the middle, stopped at the 35. I believe that's Martin Johnson. And it looks like Paul Kirkman, one of the East Central linemen, got blocked backwards, and he sure hit the ground funny. Let's hope he's okay. Watch this at the end of the play. It's one of those, he's standing up, and then ooh, you see that with his knee?
That hurts me. I don't know how. I don't know. There he's going out
coming
now.
out, yeah.
That's the way you blow a knee out right there.
6'1", 320 from Tuscaloosa. 1:11 to go. First half, Gulf Coast leading 34-0. East Central has a 3rd and 3 on their own 35. 2 wideouts to the right. One coming in motion. Now play action. Hall in trouble. Is going to run for the first down and gets the edge of the sideline and runs out of bounds and moves the chains.
I don't think he had any intention of throwing the ball that time. He saw the hole immediately, tucked it, and ran.
Kind of a delayed quarterback draw, I guess you could say. 52 seconds to go, first half.
1st and 10 on their own 40. And time about to run out on them.
Now Hall, little screen pass out to the right, and the pass is incomplete. They tried to hit Freeman Gray, and that one was in the dirt, or the turf, if you will, and it'll be 2nd down.
We'll be updating you a little later on some other scores, but my looking at the national rankings in Division I, Florida at number 2 and Oregon at 3, I tell you, wow.
World's largest cocktail party this afternoon down in Jacksonville. You think we're having breeze issues? They've got Frankenstorm issues.
They got a front coming through. They got a hurricane coming toward them. They got a big ball game there today.
With the amount of libations involved in that game, I don't think anybody's going to care. 25 seconds, 3rd and 5 now for East Central. This will probably be the last play of the first half. We'll ring up Shep and see if he can catch up with Coach Campbell. Now some movement by East Central, and that's going to send them back 5 yards. 13 seconds to go first half, and the Bulldogs leading 34-0.
You know, this is the 9th game of the season, and these guys making these mistakes like that. It's got to be frustrating to not only the team but the coaching staff.
Well, 13 to go, 3rd and 10 after the 5-yard penalty. This will be the last play of the first half with Gulf Coast leading 34-0. Shep's heading over to catch up with Coach Campbell, who was pretty animated about a 5-yard false start call. I think he wants to finish strong. That's what he likes to do, even though it's 34-0 here in the first half. Now the referees stop the clock. You know what? They had that 10-second runoff because it was a false start. So this will be the last play. Hall drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws it deep. 2 men down there, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage by the Bulldogs, and that ends the first half with Gulf Coast shutting out East Central 34-0. Let's go down to Shep as he catches up with Coach Campbell.
34-0, Coach. Haven't had to really do anything flashy. You got to like the effort so far, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad that we're up 34-0, but I'm not happy with the penalties. You know, I'm not happy with the, you know, we missed some extra points. We had a celebration penalty before we scored. We had another. We would have been 4th and 30, and we could have got off the field to give them a drive. So there's a lot of stuff that we can still improve on and get better at.
What was, from your perspective, when you got out to the field with Doc Will? What did you hear from the trainer?
I think he just took a good lick. and his neck and spine and everything like that's really good shape. It wasn't anything like that. He said he just took a little helmet to helmet, and but he was fine. He remembered the play, and he seemed to be okay.
And you'll talk to the guys about just focusing for 30 more minutes and lock up the South State championship.
Yeah, that's what we got to finish. We've come along. We got to meet 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Right. Yeah, Bill. Like I said, he's got some stuff to talk about. Which, in a 34-0 ball game, you wouldn't think there'd be much, but he rattled off his list of complaints, and so I'm sure he will make his voice and his opinion known quite loudly at the half.
We could be up 47-0, and I think he'd have some grievances, but those are coachable moments, is what they tell me. So
that's anyway. What every coach ever has never been happy ever. So I mean, look at Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So
not a happy fella. No, he's not,
and he has no friends.
Wow. So, yeah, your impressions first half, like you said, are really, not nothing flashy. And how about, in this wind, how well Hatton's thrown the ball when he's had to, big plays to convert on?
We haven't really talked about it down here on the field yet, but, it is howling down here. As I believe they can hear the PA speaker back in Ocean Springs. The wind is absolutely howling down here, and it's blowing, I guess, away from the press box. I guess that would be, it's blowing out of, northwest or something. Yeah. So, and the flags are just standing up. So it's making kicking and throwing really tough, but they have done a nice job. So.
Very cool. All right, we're going to come back to you a little bit later. Right now, we're going to let our viewers and listeners, as we come back to Shep a little bit later, thanks Shep for that, and we're going to come back here to A.L. May Memorial Stadium and listen in on the 2012 halftime festivities as we present our homecoming court for Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. So we're going to let you listen in and view 2012 homecoming with Gulf Coast leading 34-0.
Coordinator Stacy Fuller and captains Demira Sestinez and Haley Brady. The band will feature Mr. Cat dancing the fiery Latin cooker in Fuego. Good afternoon and welcome to the presentation of the 2012 Homecoming Court at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Please turn your attention to the 50-yard line. Presenting our freshman homecoming maids from the Jackson County campus. Ms. Ryan Brenneman, freshman maid. Ryan is the daughter of Brad and Jennifer Smith of Ocean Springs and Roy and Jenny Brenneman of League City, Texas. Ryan is a graduate of Ocean Springs High School and a member of First Presbyterian Church of Ocean Springs. After receiving an associate's degree, she plans to pursue her bachelor's degree. At Gulf Coast, Ryan participates in college publications. She is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ryan Brenneman. Ms. Christian Parsley, freshman maid. Christian is the daughter of Ray Parsley and Leanne Parsley and a graduate of East Central High School, where she was voted Senior Homecoming Maid, most photogenic in Mississippi Central High School 2012. After receiving an associate's degree from Gulf Coast, Christian plans on pursuing a bachelor's degree at the University of Southern Mississippi. Christian volunteers at our Daily Bread in Pascagoula and helps each year with coastal cleanup. She is escorted this afternoon by her boyfriend, Mark Logan. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Christian Parsley. Representing the Jefferson Davis campus, freshman football maid, Ms. Kaylin Nault. Kaylin is the daughter of Suzette Galloway and Scott Nault and a graduate of D'Iberville High School. After graduating from Gulf Coast, Kaylin plans to continue her education at the University of Southern Mississippi, where she will pursue a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Graphic Design with a minor in Photo Imaging Arts. Kaylin was editor of the D'Iberville High School Yearbook, student council representative, and a member of both junior leadership and the photography club. She participates in the American Red Cross Blood Drive and the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk. She is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, football maid, Ms. Kaylin Nault. Ms. Danielle Johnson. Danielle is the daughter of Corey and Angela Johnson of Biloxi and is a graduate of Biloxi High School. She received both academic and reflection scholarships to attend Gulf Coast, and she is active with the Student Government Association, Reflections Team, and the Student Activities Advertisement Committee. Danielle is a member of the Amazing Grace Ministries, 3D Team Ministry, and the Church Food Pantry, and is a praise team singer, praise dancer, and secretary for the Protestant youth of the chapel. After completing an associate's degree, she plans to continue her education at the University of Southern Mississippi to pursue a bachelor's degree in fashion design. Danielle is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Danielle Johnson. Ms. Hannah Stewart. Hannah is the daughter of Hamp and Susan Stewart of Gulfport. She is a member of Reflections and is active with her church, Cedar Lake Christian Assembly, where she is a member of the leadership team for Vintage Youth, works in the preschool nursery, and attends Imprint College Ministry. After completing her degree at Gulf Coast, she plans to continue her education at the Oak School of Leadership in Texas and pursue a business management degree. Hannah is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hannah Stewart. Representing the Perkinston campus, Miss Caitlin Benton. Caitlin is the daughter of Wade and Tracy Benton of Gulfport and is a 2012 graduate of West Harrison High School, where she was voted Miss West Harrison High, Executive Vice President of the Student Council, Yearbook Editor, and Prom Queen. After completing her associate degree, Caitlin plans to attend the University of Southern Mississippi to pursue a degree in secondary education with an emphasis in English. She served as historian of the Perkinston Campus Reflections Team and is an active member of Michael Memorial Baptist Church, where she served in the nursery department and children's department ministries. She participated in the breast cancer walk in 2012 with the Pink Angels. Caitlin is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Caitlin Benton. Miss Megan Clark. Megan is the daughter of June Clark of Hurley and Charlie Clark of Lake State, Indiana. She is a graduate of East Central High School and was co-captain of the high school cheerleading squad. She was voted Miss Hornet 2012 and was a homecoming maid. She is currently a Bulldog cheerleader and a Red Cross volunteer. After graduating from Gulf Coast, she plans to attend the University of South Alabama and complete her bachelor's and master's degrees in occupational therapy. Megan is being escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, freshman maid, Miss Megan Clark. Now presenting our sophomore homecoming maids from the Jackson County campus. Miss Emily Dixon, sophomore football maid. Emily is the daughter of David and Debbie Dixon and a graduate of Van Cleve High School. After receiving an associate's degree from Gulf Coast, Emily plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in business at the University of Southern Mississippi. Emily serves as the vice president of the Jackson County Campus Reflections Team and is a member of the Van Cleve United Methodist Church. She is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Emily Dixon. Miss Christian Harvey. Christian is the daughter of Shannon and Kimberly Harvey and is a graduate of Goshen High School. Christian plans to pursue a bachelor's and doctoral degree in chemical engineering at Mississippi State University after completing her associate degree at Gulf Coast. She currently serves as the president of the Student Government Association and is a member of the Reflections Team, Phi Beta Kappa, and the Baptist Student Union. She was elected JC freshman class favorite and a freshman homecoming maid last year, and she is a 4.0 President's List scholar. Christian is an active member of Ridgely Baptist Church, serving as a 5th and 6th grade Bible study teacher and as a missionary to Haiti. She is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Christian Harvey. Miss Hannah Mallett. Hannah is the daughter of Elaine Bright and is a 2011 graduate of Van Cleve High School. After graduating from Gulf Coast, Hannah plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in business marketing management before opening her own business. She is a member of Reflections, College Publications, and the Outdoor Recreation Leadership Club. She is escorted this afternoon by her boyfriend, Jared Hughes. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hannah Mallett. Representing the Jefferson Davis campus, Miss Brianna Evans. Brianna is the daughter of Latrina Evans and Lake Charles Evans. A 2011 graduate of Biloxi High School, Brianna served as a Student Government Association parliamentarian and is a member of the Reflections Team and Phi Beta Kappa. Last year, she was chosen as freshman class favorite and President's List status during the fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters. After graduating from Gulf Coast, she plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in nursing from the University of Southern Mississippi. After college, she hopes to be a labor and delivery nurse or work in rehabilitation. Brianna is escorted this afternoon by her uncle, Chris Pittman. Ladies and gentlemen, sophomore maid, Miss Brianna Evans. Miss Haley Whitehead. Haley is the daughter of Michael and Michelle Whitehead of Ocean Springs and is a 2011 graduate of St. Martin High School. After graduating from Gulf Coast, Haley plans to attend the University of Southern Mississippi and earn a bachelor's degree in secondary education with an emphasis in history. She serves as the Student Government Association Secretary, is president of the Reflections Team, and is a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Last year, she was freshman class favorite and earned President's List status during both fall 2011 and spring 2012 semesters. Haley is a member of the Pentecostals of the Gulf Coast, where she performs in the mass choir and youth and adult ensembles. Haley is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, sophomore maid, Miss Haley Whitehead. Representing the Perkinston campus, Miss Brianna Ardon. Brianna is the daughter of David and Tanya Ardon of Hurley and is a 2011 graduate of East Central High School, where she was selected Hall of Fame. Brianna is pursuing a degree in nursing and plans to continue her education at the University of South Alabama. She was chosen freshman homecoming maid last year and has been a member of the Gulf Coast cheerleading squad for 2 years. She is also a member of Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society. Brianna is also a Relay for Life participant and attends Hurley United Methodist Church. She is escorted this afternoon by her brother, Logan Ardon. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brianna Ardon. Miss Carissa Harris. Carissa is the daughter of Warner and Debbie Harris and is a 2011 graduate of St. Martin High School, where she was the homecoming queen, Miss St. Martin High School, a prom maid, captain of the cheerleading squad, and the soccer team captain. After graduating from Gulf Coast, Carissa plans to attend the University of South Alabama to pursue a bachelor's degree in nursing. Her goal is to be a surgical nurse. She is a member of the Bulldog cheerleading squad and the Wesley Foundation and serves on the Barn spiritual team. She is escorted this afternoon by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carissa Harris. Now we present this afternoon the 2012 Homecoming Queens from the Jackson County campus, Miss Shaudell Brooks. Shaudell is the daughter of LaShawn Mims and John Norval and is a 2011 graduate of Pascagoula High School and is a member of Union Baptist Church. After graduating from Gulf Coast with a degree in Human Services, Shaudell plans to transfer to the University of South Alabama to pursue a degree in Communications. Shaudell serves as Vice President of Communications for the Reflections team, and she received the Chair Scholarship and the MGCCC Career Technical Scholarship. She is escorted this afternoon by her father, John Norval. Crowning Shaudell this afternoon is the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College President, Dr. Mary Graham, assisted by Jackson County Vice President, Dr. Carmen Walters, and Reflections President, J.B. Sereno. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 Homecoming Queen from the Jackson County campus, Miss Shaudell Brooks. From the Jefferson Davis campus, Miss Sarah Crosswhite. Sarah is the daughter of John and Regina Crosswhite of Long Beach and is a 2011 graduate of West Harrison High School. After receiving her associate's degree from Gulf Coast, Sarah plans to attend the University of Southern Mississippi to pursue a bachelor's degree in nursing or join the United States Air Force. Sarah serves as the president of the Student Government Association and served last year as the freshman class president. She is a member of the Baptist Student Union, the Reflections team, and Phi Theta Kappa. Sarah volunteers her time to help coastal cleanup efforts and making strides against breast cancer and is a member of Believers Baptist Church where she sings in the choir. Sarah is escorted this afternoon by her father, John Crosswhite. Crowning Sarah is Dr. Mary Graham, assisted by Jefferson Davis Campus Vice President, Dr. Susan Skaggs, and Reflections Team Vice President, Jennifer Wyndham. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 Homecoming Queen from the Jefferson Davis campus, Miss Sarah Crosswhite. From the Perkinston campus, Miss Christy Bradley. Christy is the daughter of Rick and Beth Bradley of Moss Point and is a 2011 graduate of East Central High School. Majoring in business administration, Christie plans to attend Mississippi State University to earn a bachelor's degree and plans to pursue a career in pharmaceutical sales. In 2011, she was a Perkinston campus homecoming maid and has been involved with Grace Ministries and has completed mission work in Guatemala. She is a longtime supporter of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and participates in the American Heart Association Heart Walk, American Cancer Society Relay for Life, the Buddy Walk for Down Syndrome, and the Jackson County Backpack Buddies. Christy is escorted this afternoon by her father, Rick Bradley. Crowning Christy is Dr. Graham, assisted by Perkinston Campus Vice President, Dr. Jay Allen, and SGA President, Michael McGee. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2012 homecoming queen from the Perkinston campus, Miss Christy Bradley. Everyone, please give a round of applause for all of our 2012 homecoming queens and homecoming courts. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the band closes with the Latin favorite, Malia. Ladies and gentlemen, the band of gold. The band is under the direction of Dale Trotter. The assistant directors are Heather Spicer and Sean Beatty. The percussion instructors are Stacey Ford. The percussion director is Tim Parkman. The color guard director is Thomas Foley. Additional instructors include Jane Wally and Casey Cavender. The band is proudly sponsored by the Pro.
And welcome back to A.L. May Memorial Stadium. Hope you enjoyed watching the homecoming court be presented. And the band of Gold's abbreviated halftime show and the attack of the giant cloak, Jimmy, with the wind. It turned into an entity out there, and they did a good job just getting that over the tuba so nobody got hurt. It was pretty good.
They got them down and got it over there, but that wind's really whipping and caused them some problems. Great job they do. Dale does a good job.
Oh, yeah.
You know, David Dewitt was here for many years, did a great job, and I was at senior night last night for Van Cleve, and some of the band members that they had out there, seniors, have already committed to come up here and play in the Band of Gold, and that kind of made me feel good to have them come up. And, you know, they just do a great job. And most all you see out there are local within the 4-county district, but they do a great job. And everywhere we go, you hear that from fans that other stadiums we go in. You know, they always enjoy watching the Band of Gold perform.
They're doing their abbreviated halftime show, playing a little bit here as Coach Campbell's already got the kickoff team going on the second. He's ready to go.
He wants to get it over with.
Yeah, he does.
I talked to Chad just a few minutes ago
Saw
real
him.
quick, and DeQuill will not see any more action today. We knew that.
Yeah.
They have thoroughly checked him out. Dr. Noblin's checked him out, and it seems like everything, he just took a blow in the side of the head. They're going to watch him tonight to make sure that there's no symptoms, but as of right now, he just took a good blow, good shot, and everything seems to be okay.
And that's certainly good news. DeQuill caught 4 passes for 54 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Looking at Clint Hatton's numbers, passing through 3 touchdown passes, 1 to JoJo Snell, 1 to DeQuill Williams, and 1 to Byron Nettles. And you hear the Band of Gold wrapping up as they're on the track. Meanwhile, Stephen Broccoli's got it teed up. He's ready to get the second half going, and we are too. And Broccoli puts his right foot into it, and we're underway in the third quarter, taking it 2 yards deep as Ricky Hunt to the 15, Hunt to the 20. He's got some room across the 25. Look out, Hunt to the 40, and Stephen Broccoli drags him down at the 45-yard line. So a nice return by Ricky Hunt to get East Central some good field position to start the third quarter.
Broccoli may have just saved us a touchdown.
I think
right
he
there.
did.
I got on to him a while ago when I talked to him before the game about him diving in these piles and making tackles, and he said, yeah, the coach, he said that enough was enough. He had to hang back, so it's a good thing he hung back that time.
1st and 10 East Central from the 45. First play from scrimmage of the third quarter. Gulf Coast up 34-0. Martin Johnson takes it up the middle on the draw. First down into Gulf Coast territory, and down to the 43-yard line is Martin Johnson. Johnson is a 6-foot, 190-pound freshman from Niawaya High School, which is in East Central Mississippi. 1st and 10 after that run by Martin Johnson. That's the 11th first down of the game for the Warriors. Opening moment, second half, Gulf Coast pitching a shutout so far, 34-0. Johnson breaks 1 tackle and may have picked up 2 or 3 yards as we settle into some kind of rhythm here in the third quarter.
Well, they got a good start here to get the kickoff return across midfield, and they're spotting the ball right now at the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. Second down and a long 7, but this is, again, we've talked about it a million times. Third quarter's been a quarter that we hadn't played well in, but we did last week. We played 4 quarters.
Certainly did. A weird ending to the halftime as the band was performing here on the track and everybody else was getting ready as Hall throws a little flare out to Ricky Hunt. Hunt may have picked up a yard that time, so it'll be 3rd and 6 for East Central. Some scores on the games going on today. You know our score. Scuba taking on Itawamba. That one kicks off later. Meanwhile, up in Senatobie at halftime, pretty good one going on. Jones leading Northwest 21-20. Here it's 3rd and 6 for East Central from the Gulf Coast 38, but the Bulldogs lead 38-0. Now in the game at quarterback and throwing an interception is Zach Thrasher. They put in Thrasher, the sophomore from New Hope, and he threw it right to Dawson Wells, and that's the 3rd turnover of the game for the Bulldogs.
Couldn't be any more thrown better to Dawson Wells. He just, he picked him out and threw it. I know he had a crossing route call, but he threw it right to Wells, who had good coverage. Picked it off, did make a shoestring tackle to hold him right there, but the Bulldogs, again, adding to that plus turnover ratio.
It's easily in double figures, right about 13 or 14 on the year, and we're trying to work on that this week as we head into the playoffs. 1st and 10 after the Dawson Wells pick from the 28. Hatton takes the snap, throws it out, and Tyrone Williams can't hold on the bubble screen to the left. Tried to run before he caught it, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, these other guys are going to get some opportunities now. If he elects to do that, I think we're probably going to run the ball a lot here in the second half. But these other receivers are going to see some time with DeQuill out of the ball game here the rest of this game due to what happened to him on that touchdown pass.
13:06 to go, third quarter, and Gulf Coast leading 34-0. Now on the sweep, it's JoJo Snell trying to get the corner. He does to the 30 and is knocked down at the 36-yard line and run out of bounds. Nice pursuit by Stephon Fuller, the 22 for East Central, as JoJo shows off some of that speed.
JoJo just got another gear. Once he kicks it in, he really comes hard.
Picked up 8 that time, so it's 3rd and 2. Bulldogs trying to move the chains and coming through on a little penalty. The nose guard, Vodrick Lucius. He's also from Tuscaloosa. They have about 6 or 7 guys, does East Central, from the Tuscaloosa area, and that should be an offsides against East Central, and that should give Gulf Coast a first down, and it is. Moves it out to the 41.
Well, the Bulldogs getting close to midfield as they got it on the 41. In normal Bulldog offense, you look for DeQuil Williams right here.
Right, for the kill shot. Tyrone Williams and DeAdrian Terry out right. Snell and Thornton in the backfield with Hatton, and now time is called, and Coach Campbell and Ramsey Sellers trying to get their ducks in a row, and they burn a timeout with 12:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the Bulldogs leading 34-0. Well, barring an insane comeback by East Central, we'll be here next week. I'm told the game time will be at 2 o'clock between Gulf Coast and Northwest. We've had some impressive battles with Northwest over the years. The last time we played them in the playoffs was in 2010, and the Bulldogs went up to Senatobia and won that game. I believe the final was 63-24. That was the year Gulf Coast went on to win the state championship. We've had some good playoff games down here as well. In fact, the last time Gulf Coast lost on this field was to Northwest in the 2009 season opener. So 1st and 10, Snell hitting the backfield, gets away from one tackler but can't beat the pursuit of East Central, and now they're signaling a fumble. East Central says they have the ball.
Well, the line judge is looking at it now.
And they give it to him.
They do.
And a rare turnover by the Bulldog offense, and if I'm not mistaken, that might be the first fumble this season by JoJo Snell. First turnover of the game by the Bulldogs. Let's see. I thought he was down.
The ball came.
Hard to tell on that angle, but it looked like he was down.
It was coming out, and I couldn't tell where his knee was, but it was coming out as he was making a spin going to the ground. You could see the football coming out of the side of between his arm and his body, but I don't know where his knee was down or not.
So East Central takes over on the Gulf Coast 41, giving up the middle, Martin Johnson. Johnson takes it across the 40 and down to the 39 before he's brought down. David Howell in there along with Cavellis Luckett and Nigel Green on the stop. Second down coming up. Johnson picked up right around 4.
You know, Steve's not going to be happy about that situation there. He, like you said, he hasn't fumbled the ball this year. All our backs have not fumbled the ball. It's been a good year for us. But
well, if you're going to fumble 34-0 is a good time to do it and get it out of your system. Now the throw out to the left to Ricky Hunt. He's gobbled up after a gain of perhaps 1. It'll be 3rd down coming up for East Central.
Bulldogs defense stretched that play out well. Took it all the way to the sideline.
Finished Armstrong first on the scene for the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 7. Gulf Coast up 34-0. I'm hoping they run the clock, Jimmy.
Let's just run it in timeouts and all. Just don't shut it off or nothing. Let her run. Oh, Glory standing straight out. That wind's coming due out of the north.
It's going to be pretty chilly tonight, but there's going to be some fires built if you have a fireplace, and maybe outside too. Who knows? Now that's Thrasher, the quarterback, sets up the screen, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for Martin Johnson, and he hit one of the linemen in the back, and that'll be 4th down for East Central. We told you the new quarterback, Zach Thrasher, a 6'3", 200-pound sophomore from New Hope. Last time in, he threw an interception, and there he missed on the screen pass, bringing up 4th and 6.
I think that receiver thought he could take it on the first hop and keep going with it.
Thrasher's in the backfield with Johnson, 3 wideouts to the right and 1 to the left. Eight seconds on the play clock. Now they get their formation in order, and East Central calls a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty. So 10:55 to go. Gulf Coast leading 34-0. Yeah, my niece is getting married today, And my soon-to-be 5-year-old daughter, her birthday's tomorrow, so happy birthday, Caroline, from Daddy. She is going to be the ring bearer of this wedding today. She's got her dress. She's got her shoes. I was told she did terrific in rehearsal. We'll see what happens tonight when the church is full of people.
She'll do great.
Yeah.
Showmanship.
Well, either way.
She's taking after Daddy, and no problems there.
Yeah. Either way, she'll be all right.
She'll be fine. By the way, I hope they have a TV where you're going to be at. So.
I'm told there should be. So.
And if you're listening and you don't, you need to see if you can't round one up or bring one from the house. So.
Well, the reception's at the Slavonian Lodge, and they've got that place in working order, so I think we should be okay. After the timeout, it's 4th and 6. Thrasher pitches to Johnson. Now Johnson thought about throwing. Now he's going to run it. He's got some room to the left. He's got the first down across the 30 and down to the 22-yard line. It was a busted play, but nobody was home on the left side of the field. They were all dropping into pass coverage. They saw that Johnson was going to throw it, but he had some room to the left, and East Central picks up a first down. Weird-looking play.
Well, we had it cut off. There's no doubt it was not going to work. And you know how these things work sometime when you reverse field. Big yardage.
And now a run up to about the 20. That's Johnson on a delayed handoff, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. 10:20 to go, third quarter.
Bulldogs flip-flopping those linemen in and out. A lot of upsets in high school football last night.
That George County win over D'Iberville. That was very surprising. 2nd and 7. Thrasher takes the snap, play action, throws it over the middle, and that pass is caught. Derek Moncrief had his hands on the ball, so did the receiver. And on simultaneous possession, they give it to the receiver, unlike what happened in that Green Bay-Seattle game.
That's exactly right.
Let's see, under pressure was Thrasher. I can't tell who that was who made the catch. I think that was Ricky Hunt.
Moncrief caught it, I believe, a little bit more than the receiver did.
But they gave it to Hunt, so it's 3rd and 2 from the 16. Inside 10 minutes to go, third quarter, and Gulf Coast leading 34-0. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. High snap, Thrasher on the option. Martin's in trouble, he drops the ball. It's loose over on the far sideline, and I believe the Bulldogs have it. And they do. Coming up with the ball.
That's Keel,
I think that was either Brandon Keel or Damian Gaines. Let's see who fell on it. I think it was Gaines who fell on it, the big boy.
We had to get it because
6'2", 330.
Only us was over there, so we had to get that one.
So the 4th turnover of the game by East Central stops another drive, and it's 1st and 10 Gulf Coast from their own 23, leading 34-0 over the Warriors. Now up the middle is Anton Thornton, and Thornton takes it out to the 28-yard line for a pickup of about 4 on first down.
That's just a straight-ahead dive play on the left side of the offensive line.
Bulldog quickly up to the line, 2nd and 5. Hatton in the pistol, gives up the middle to Thornton again, following his block. Second effort takes it out to about the 33, and he's close to a Bulldog first down. If not, it'll be 3rd and short.
It is going to be 3rd and short. I thought for a minute, nope, it's first down. Thought they were going to measure, but it's first down.
I was telling you about some of the scores. East Mississippi and Etowah kick off later. And Jones is leading Northwest 21-20 at halftime up in Senatobia. On first down, they give this time to Dietrich Goff, hurdles his way over a couple of players and takes it out to the 39, a 6-yard gain on first down. So the big boy Goff from the kill getting some work here in the second half. He scored from a yard out earlier in the contest. Now quickly to the line come the Bulldogs. The Superbacks stacked to the left. Hatton gives it to Goff. Goff off the right side, makes one man miss and pushes ahead to the 42. It'll be 3rd and short again, as the Bulldogs are going to lean on that running game here in the second half, and why not when you're up by 34.
You rarely see Goff go backwards. You rarely see him get knocked backwards. He even got hit in the backfield and still stretched that thing out for a couple of yards.
3rd and 1 from the 42. 2 superbacks to the right this time. They were very successful in this formation last week against Colin. Goff remains in. Your superbacks, Cade Amaker and Jay Yates. Now on the misdirection draw play. Good penetration that time by East Central. They saw that one coming. Leading the way, Cordell Page, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Bulldogs will punt it away. Page got a couple of tackles against his old team today.
He did, and, you know, the Bulldogs get the turnover. They advance it for 1 first down, and then they're going to punt it away. This is not something I believe Steve Campbell would like to have taken this ball down and got points out of it off the turnover.
So 4th and 2, Zach Pinkerton on to punt. He'll have the wind sort of behind him, and the punt is blocked. It rolls ahead, though, and goes out of bounds at the East Central 45, so a special teams miscue by the Bulldogs. You were just talking about the tempo being kind of flat.
No blocking up the middle. This block
yeah, that guy came right up the middle.
Right straight up the middle, and we know who coaches the special team, so he's going to sit them down over here and talk to them. You know, again, it's this 3rd quarter lull we go through, that the intensity, it seems like at certain plays were real good, but the constant intensity that we normally see, you just don't see it in the 3rd quarter.
Coach Campbell's talking to the snapper, Wyatt Smith, as they try the bubble screen going nowhere. Trey Wofford in on the tackle on 1st down. See, Coach Campbell was talking to Smith and also to Cade Amaker. Somebody must have missed an assignment, as that guy looked like he came right up the middle.
Well,
Fortunately, it wasn't a full block. You know, it was just a partially blocked kick, and it actually kept going forward.
Boy, there's no hurry. The East Central wants to run a play. They're just taking all the time in the world.
They're trying to figure out what buffet they're going to hit on the way home. 2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss. Now it's Martin Johnson running right's got some room, cuts it back to the 40, and picks up about 6, so it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Already down to 5:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Gulf Coast leading 34-0 over East Central in a fast-moving and, to this point, pretty uneventful 3rd quarter.
So I presume as long as Gulf Coast is playing football, you'll continue the Bulldog Blitz show. Is that right?
We go as long as we go. Yes, that is correct.
You might have another month's worth of shows, buddy.
That's what's happened every year we've done it since 07. Now on the sweep, it's Ricky Hunt trying to cut back, and Trey Wofford will not let him do it, throwing him down all the way back at the East Central 45.
That'll do reduction in your yardage in your stats real quick.
That's a 25-yard loss on 3rd down. And now East Central's going to have to punt. So that play not only stopped a drive, it switched the field almost.
We putting all the little guys up front. We must be going after this ball. This punt.
Let's see what happens. Franklin with the kick. Not bad into the wind. It hits at the 20 and rolls out of bounds, or stays in bounds, rolls inside the 15 and is down at the Gulf Coast 12. And you see Josh Keys there. I think he was thinking about going to catch that one. A little miscommunication over there. No harm, no foul. 4:27 to go. We're up 34-0.
Got to get some first downs. Got to take some time off. Got to put a drive together. And I'm sure you're going to see Hatton throw the ball a time or two in this go-round here. We just, you know, the last possession off of that turnover, we just didn't move the ball well at all.
You got to think the Bulldogs are going to want to see how well they can move the ball without DeQuill in the lineup. Granted, they're up 34 points, but you got to know that we can still do the job without one of your best weapons on the field. 1st and 10 from the 12. Coming in motion, DeAdrian Terry. Now in play action, Hatton going deep, looking for Tyrone Williams. The ball is underthrown and incomplete. Going step for step with Williams was Ben Brooks. And it looked like that ball kind of fluttered out of Clint's hand that time. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't know what happened, but either it got up in the wind or it came out of his hand funny, one of the two, but it definitely was underthrown.
Looked like Williams had a step on Brooks, but the pass was incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10. 4:19 to go, 34-0. Gulf Coast leading East Central here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium on Homecoming 2012. Now a bunch of jumps and flags fly. I don't know if the Bulldogs, yeah, it is going to be a false start on Gulf Coast. They're lucky the whistle blew that time.
Well, this is not pretty for us, Bill, right now.
Yeah, kind of sloppy here in the third quarter.
I think you ought to take that scoreboard and put a piece of paper over it or something. Look up and see that 34 zip. They're not playing like the aggressive team that they are.
2nd and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. Hatton gives on the inside draw, and taking it out to the 11 is Anton Thornton, and he'll pick up 4. It'll be 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, if anything, this quarter has gone by ridiculously fast.
Well, we need it to. We need to get out of the 3rd and get into 4th.
See DeQuill right about the Gulf Coast 45 on the sidelines. Got the skull cap on. He's watching this one from the sideline. Looks like he's doing okay. I think he's maybe got some sunflower seeds going there, so that's good to see. 3rd and 11 coming in motion is DeAdrian Terry. Hatton looks to his right, has time to throw, throws it out to DT, and the pass is caught at the 15 or right at the 16, but it was a little low. DT had to go down and get it, and 4th down will be upcoming for Gulf Coast.
It's a flag down, and I think we had a lineman downfield, but we'll see. It could be a hole. Actually, I know we had a lineman downfield, but it could be a hole. It is a hole.
And East Central declines it, and that'll bring on Zach Pinkerton to punt it away again. Let's hope the protection's a little better because he had the last one partially blocked, that has not happened here. I'm trying to think the last time we had a punt even close to being blocked. We might have had one last year, but before that, it may have been 5 or 6 years. Pinkerton standing on his own 2-yard line. Good protection, gets the punt away. Out to about the 44, taking it there for East Central and tackled at the 50 is Markel Millsap. And Gulf Coast will continue to lead 34-0, 2:57 to go, third quarter, and they have it 1st and 10 from their own 49.
Well, they've had the ball in excellent position, East Central has, to start the third quarter. And, through the whole third quarter, it's been played on their end of the field.
You see Coach Campbell having a little heart-to-heart with his offensive line. Well, he's not happy about that execution.
No, we just hadn't looked good here in this since we come out of the dressing room.
1st and 10 just across the 49. Martin goes left, runs into Cavellis Luckett, and goes backwards.
Luckett took a stiff arm, and he hung on, then the pursuit caught up.
The freshman from Macomb, nice pursuit that time.
He's had a good, solid year. He's been around the football a lot. Playing time, he's done a good job out there. So has a lot of these freshmen.
That was a loss of 7. 2:28 to go, third quarter. Bulldogs leading 34-0. It's all the way back at the East Central 44. Thrasher, the quarterback, he's been all the way in the second half, keeps it and tiptoes his way through the center of the defense and picked up 2. It'll be 3rd and 15 coming up. And here's the thing. If the Bulldogs played with the intensity that they usually do, they'd have 60 on the board right now.
That's right. This team was whipped down in the first quarter, and
they're not in any hurry to do anything. 1:50 to go, third quarter. Thrasher takes the snap, fumbles it, picks it back up. Well, we've seen more of those today, and throws it out. And I believe the pass is caught, and that is a catch over on the far sideline, way short of the first down. We've seen some drop snaps, some football follies, all kinds of stuff today.
Punter miss a punt for a touchdown. I don't think he ever hit that ball.
No, he didn't.
Tried to, but he'd have done better to do like your Premium did, just try to kick it off the ground.
Yeah. You have one play like that and you go down in history. It just happened to be in the Super Bowl against the Redskins. Otherwise, you look at Gary Upremian's career, and it was pretty solid. As the punter, Franklin, gets it away, it takes an East Central bounce and rolls dead at the 10-yard line with 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. And, while we have this time, Jimmy, I want to send our condolences to the Landry family. One of our employees, we lost him this week, Mark Landry, who works in the career tech operations of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, passed away this week. A very untimely death. Mark was 49 years old, and it's just been a rough week for the MGCCC family when something like that happens. And we just want to send our condolences to Mark's family and, of course, his co-workers, his closest co-workers, and everyone involved in that. Mark was a great guy. He was a big supporter of Gulf Coast Athletics, sent me many emails many times talking about how much he enjoyed the Bulldog Blitz and also streaming videos. So rest in peace, Mark. We know you're watching down today. And once again, our condolences to his family. 8-yard gain just a minute ago by the Bulldogs, and now flags fly and a false start penalty on Gulf Coast.
I think that one's going to be on Jay Yates. He got a quick start and tried to stop, and they're going to call it on him, I believe. Yeah, it's tough whenever you have a close-knit, because Gulf Coast is a close-knit family, and when you have one of your employees, especially at that young age, that's a young age to go, and
it's tough.
Prayers go, go forth.
After that infraction, it'll be 2nd and 7. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Hatton throws it out and hammered at the 14 is Justin Brister. Somebody missed a block over there. I think that was DeAdrian Terry, and Brister got hung out to dry.
I felt that one up here.
Yeah.
Man.
That looked like a couple of those hits that Josh Keys laid down last week.
That's the last play of the third quarter. At least we got out of the third quarter. This thing's been a nemesis to us the whole season long. One game, Cole Lynn, we played a solid 4 quarters of football, but that's scary. Third quarter, so I don't care if we got a 50-point lead. I don't like the third quarter. Something about this team.
It's really strange. So we've played 3 quarters, and Gulf Coast continues to lead 34-0 over East Central. And if the pace doesn't pick up or we don't get some action here, I'm going to have to go back into the Bill's grab bag stories vault. Shep and I, we're riding home last week, and I was like, I don't know if I've got anything else. We've been doing this all season long. You know what? I'll give you this. I found a game at my dad's house. It's a football game. It's called halftime football. It's in a box, and you put out the board. It's got the field, and you roll dice to get yardage. Now on the bubble screen, Tyrone Williams out to the 20 and run out of bounds at the 25 on 3rd and 7. And I believe that's going to be enough for a Bulldog first down. Let's see where they spot it. And it is, and that'll move the chains on the first play of the fourth quarter. Anyway, you take the dice and roll it, and it comes up, let's say one dice says 15, one die. That's a singular of dice, I guess. One die has 15, and you have the ball, and the other guy rolls the dice and has 10. You pick up 5 yards. You see what I'm saying? I
see.
So I found that over there, and I said, that's got me and Colin written all over it. So we had fun with that one. And he thought he was cocky. He built a 27-0 lead on me, rolling the dice, passing the ball. But the passing die has a big I on it on one of them. It means interception. He threw like 4 of them. I came back and almost won the game. So anyway, just one of those funky little games from the 70s. 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard gain. Taking it up the middle is Anton Thornton out to the 36. But I found that, and I was like, oh, my gosh. This thing is 25 years old, but he enjoyed it. It gave him a chance to add on the fly a little bit. That was a first down by the Bulldogs, by the way. So back-to-back first downs here in the fourth quarter.
Kids don't play games like that no more.
Usually it's video games. He and I have played Madden 12 on the Wii. Now on play action, Hatton going deep, looking for Tyrone Williams. Pass is tipped. He tips it to himself and makes the catch inside the 30. Tyrone doing his DeQuill Williams imitation, and that moves the chains.
DeQuill gave him 5 on that one because that was a play that he normally goes and gets. He thought about pushing off on it, and then he didn't do it. And that's official was looking right at it.
He was
Great
waiting
job.
for him. To the 28, first down. Terrific play by Tyrone Williams. Heading into the game, 5 touchdowns for the Bulldogs, and they're taking it deep into East Central territory. That wakes the crowd up a little bit because there was no action in the third quarter, and I think the only thing they had going on is that they were cold. Now, play action again. Hatton is going to run it, hurdles a blocker, then throws it incomplete. He was looking for Justin Brister, but that play got blown up in the backfield, and it'll be second down.
That's a smart move by Hatton that time. He didn't have a whole lot. He was off balance. Coverage was good, so I think it's just a smart move. I see that Nettles is done for the day. He's on the sideline without his helmet and tries to put as many clothes on as he could possibly put on under his shoulder pads and jersey.
Doesn't matter what time of year it is, that first cold blast always sneaks up on you, doesn't it? Now Eli Hughes with a nice run down to the 20, still on his feet. Speaking of video games, he had the joystick going there, run out of bounds at the 15. A nice one by Eli Hughes.
He kind of stopped and went and then stopped and went again, and I believe the second go got him a first down. It did.
So a nice drive responding here by the Bulldogs. They just had to get through the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 16, 12:48 remaining. Now it's Hughes again. This time kicks it inside the 15 down to the 13. It'll be second down coming up.
You know, you could tell East Central came in to shut our run down in this game. They hadn't worked on their pass defense that much. We've really worked on it pretty hard and could have scored a lot of points by the air. Coach Campbell wanted to run the ball today, and they had worked on run defense.
2nd and 8. Hatton gives up the middle. JoJo Snell, big hole inside the 10 down to the 6. And that'll be another Bulldog first down, I believe.
Boy, Sellers really opened a hole that
Yeah,
time. Look at that block right there.
See, I told you I don't want to make him angry.
They say he's a real, real
is.
cat up here now.
You remember he was the first player we profiled, I believe, on Bulldog Blitz this year. 1st and goal from the 5. Up the middle, Thornton makes one man miss and pushes his way down to about the 2 as the Bulldogs are chewing up the clock and chewing up yards. 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, just blocked by Yates. Look at that. I just love the way Steve's got this offense. Him and Chad's got this offense figured out. Man, there's so much misdirection, not only in the backs, but in the blocking schemes of this whole thing.
Setting up to run to the right, Dietrich Goff in. They give it to Dietrich, makes 2 steps, and bulls his way across and in for the touchdown. His second today, and that's what Dietrich Goff does.
That's what he does. Had to get this third quarter out of the way, and we take it down and put points on the board. That's just a typical Bulldog drive.
Maybe we can get them all together in the locker room and do a little hypnosis on them and tell them you will play hard in the third quarter. One of those kind of deals.
Got to do something. Got to get something going in the third quarter.
Because today they didn't really have to, as Broccoli makes the extra point. And somebody got hit down there. Is that Broccoli?
That's our kicker. He got hammered. It's a 15-yard penalty going to be penalized on him. He got nailed right after he kicked the ball.
And Broccoli is up now after getting hit. Let's see what happened. Well, that's what somebody was going for the block and they ran into him. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff.
And into the wind, so that's going to help him drive that one through the end zone, or at least get it to the end zone. He likes contact. He got some then.
Yeah, he did. He made that tackle on the opening kickoff of the second half, if you recall. So Dietrich Goff, that's his 7th touchdown of the season, and most of them have come from within 10 yards or less.
That was kind of like Thornton last year, wasn't it? It's kind of the way we used him last year.
Well, you remember we had Reggie Williams, too, the big guy from Pascagoula, and then he had that concussion in the playoff game, and he ended up getting redshirted. You remember Big Reggie, and Thornton did that as well for the Bulldogs toward the end of the season. 41-0 now.
He got hit without a helmet on, didn't he?
Yes, you remember that one?
Yeah.
And there was no penalty on that. I still remember that.
Wow.
Northwest leading Jones 27-24 starting the fourth quarter. Here it's 41-0, and let's see, Broccoli's going to kick off from midfield. We still got a few folks here.
I don't know. We're sending the punt. Isn't that the punter? Yeah, the punter's going out.
It's a kick it, yeah. They're going to let Steven shake off that hit.
I hadn't seen him kick it off a tee, even in workouts. I hadn't seen him kick it off a tee yet. I think Broccoli's fine. I think he could probably do it. They just precautionary.
I don't know what that's about.
Look at those green shoes. Kickers are a special thing, aren't they?
They're interesting.
They really are.
You know, I was reading this week. Let's see, Pinkerton. That's not the greatest kick in the world, but he gets it to the 5. And trying to return it is Ricky Hunt. Hunt takes it out to about the 27-yard line. And that's where East Central will start. 11:14 to go in the game. Gulf Coast up 41-0. You see Pinkerton. Okay, that's not too bad. We'll let that slide. You were talking about kickers. This week I read the article in Sports Illustrated about how the 63-yard record field goal in the NFL still stands. And there's 4 men that hold that record. Of course, Tom Dempsey, David Akers, who's now with the 49ers. Remember, he kicked for the Eagles forever. Big hit that time by Deshae Williams on Martin Johnson. Let's see, Jason Elam, the Broncos kicker, did it at Mile High Stadium, and so did Sebastian Janikowski, the Raiders kicker. And that one, it's always 63. Nobody's gotten the magic number of 64. It's pretty bizarre.
The old Dempsey, you know, he kicked that ball. He had that half foot.
Right, had half a foot. He didn't have much of a hand either and went down in the record book. That was a game winner, too, against the Detroit Lions in Old Tulane Stadium.
Didn't have many. I watched the Saints play in Old Tulane Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember those days. And,
plenty of good seats available. No, actually, they had good crowds back then, though, didn't they?
It was full. I saw them play the Dallas Cowboys. I saw Bob Hayes.
Run a
kickoff back 94 yards for a touchdown, and he could fly.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, he was an Olympic sprinter, wasn't he? And then played for the Cowboys.
Played his whole career for the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I remember those days. That was a big stadium.
Well, yeah, they had let's see.
92.
They played a couple of Super Bowls there,
they
right?
Did. Yeah, 90,000, 92,000. It was a big stadium, huge thing.
They actually played, I think, 3 Super Bowls there. They played 2 of them, and then they were supposed to play the one with the Vikings and the Steelers there. That was Super Bowl 9, but they didn't. The Superdome wasn't ready yet. That's what it was. And they had to play at Tulane Stadium, and a cold front came through, kind of like today, except it rained. And I think the weather was like this, except it was worse. 4th and 3 now, and East Central's punting. Gulf Coast still up 41-0. Franklin boots it away, and a good kick with the wind behind him. Hits right inside the 30 and is down at the 27 with 9:45 to go, and Gulf Coast leading 41-0. They will win their 6th MACJC South Division title since 2005. It's the 6th straight year they went to the playoffs, and if we reach the championship game, it will be the 6th straight year that the Bulldogs are in the title game. You can't get much better than that.
Well, I'm going to test your brain here and see if you know this one. If he wins today, what is Steve Campbell's record here at Gulf Coast? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'll have to take your answer because I don't know it. I know he's won a whole lot more than he's lost.
Now I'm going to pretend like I'm going to.
I know what you're doing.
You know what I'm doing? I'm looking
exactly
it up where I put it on the internet. Let's see. Quentin Wheeler now in the game, giving Clint Hatton a break, and before he can get the snap off,
we ran out of time.
A delay of game penalty. Wheeler, of course, the freshman from Monroe, in some mop-up work. The Bulldogs leading 41-0. Go ahead.
I just thought Steve is due for people to know just how many games he's won in his career here at Gulf Coast.
Sure.
Isn't this his 9th year? Is that right?
This is his 9th year. He got here in the staff in 2004. And with the exception of a few assistant coaches, it's been the same staff. Now, Antoine Wells comes in to run the ball, takes it out to the 24 on 1st down. I'm going to look this one up for you, Jimmy.
Well, I was just, I can't remember what happened last year very much. I remember, the kid getting hit in the head without the helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
Those things you remember. But when you come to a Steve Campbell game, it's like back in the 60s, you come to a George Seacool game, or the early 70s, you knew Gulf Coast was going to win.
Antoine Wells breaks a couple of tackles, takes it across to the 27-yard line.
Man, there's
70-18 heading into this season.
70-18.
There you go.
A flag from way over on the other side of the field. I mean, way over there, calling holding against Gulf Coast. Okay. I mean, he's way over there. The play was this side of the field, and
so what you're saying is way over there.
Yeah. I was wondering what he's doing, calling a holding call from way over there.
I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah, 70-18. So you add on. This will be the 8th victory. 78-19 at Gulf Coast.
Wow.
It's pretty strong.
Well, you go do the percentages on that and look around in coaches now day and time, even the real good ones, you don't see that.
8:58 to go. Gulf Coast leading 41-0. And, yeah, we were kind of being critical there in the third quarter. It's 2nd and 23 after that penalty. Wells up the middle, dancing his way across the 20 and down to about the 22-yard line. But the Bulldogs came out in that first half and really, put the hammer down on East Central to really put this game out of reach, taking their will away, and you could tell Bulldogs got up by about 2 or 3 touchdowns, and those guys were ready to pack it in.
Yeah, we jumped all over them in the first quarter. We're about the fieriest team you'll ever see in the first quarter, and we continue playing and rolling into the second quarter. But it just seems like we have a hard time getting that steam engine rolling when we come out in the third quarter.
3rd and 14 now for the Bulldogs. They lead 41-0.
That guy was way off.
Now a fumble. Picking it back up is JoJo Snell, and he's tackled at the 25, but I believe East Central was offsides.
Well, Mr. Holden penalty guy over there, he didn't throw a flag, and that guy was – the blitz coming from the far side, he was in the backfield when we snapped it.
I'm guessing he's not going to be invited to the Halloween party at the Davis residence.
He's not going to get any candy when he comes, that's for sure.
It is encroachment on East Central. That'll move it up 5 to the 28. So it'll be 3rd and 9 coming up, 8:07 to go. And the Bulldogs leading 41-0. Okay, we've hyped it. What do you think's going to happen with State and Alabama tonight?
I think they're going to play them hard for 3 quarters, and then it's going to rely on who turns the ball over in field position and special teams in the fourth quarter. That's what I think. Is State capable of beating them? I think so. Are they going to beat them? I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Wheeler throws it out. Pass is caught by DeAdrian Terry. It depends on the spot whether they'll get a first down. Pretty close to the sticks.
I will say if State wins that game, they'll tear the stadium down in Tuscaloosa and build a new one. They just won't be able to live that down.
Yeah, they lost a game to an undefeated team because State is undefeated.
But they're really hounding them about how they're not playing anybody tough. They're playing SEC teams. They're all tough.
It's true. Everybody's got an opinion on that. As JoJo Snell on a first down run.
We got some second.
Did I say JoJo Smell? I think I did.
You corrected yourself.
Well, that's okay.
We got some.
That's the first time I did that this year, considering, it's not too bad.
We got some second unit linemen out there, and one just threw a pancake block out there. He really took his guy down.
Taking advantage of that playing time. I think Shep has left. What's he doing? Oh, he's over there talking to Dr. Noblin. Free play here. And caught at the 40 by DeAdrian Terry. Let's see. It'll be offsides. Let's see if they blew it dead before he threw the pass.
He did. I heard the whistle. But, they've been letting that go. They say they hold it, they blow it because they don't want the quarterback to get hurt. But if you notice, we've scored 3 touchdowns this year off of that very thing happening right there. That time they blew it. And we actually completed a pass down about the 35-yard line.
How about this one, Jimmy? I'm going to go into the Foghorn Leghorn vernacular. I believe some of the people here are colder than a nudist and an iceberg. How about that?
I don't know where you got your research from. I don't know any nudists that's been to an iceberg.
That's a Foghorn Leghornism. 2nd and 4 after the penalty, 6:22 to go. Once again, we're in the grab bag of time killers. Up the middle, nice run by Eli Hughes out to the 48. I've got one more, but I'm saving it for the playoffs because I got a feeling I can use it then. It's a pretty good one.
I hope against Northwest we have to use some. I do. I'll polish up. Deer season's fixing to open.
That's right.
After this play, I'm going to ask you to hear what happened in Jackson this past week.
Okay, 1st and 10 after the run by Hughes. They give it to Eli again, following his blockers across midfield as we get to the 5:50 mark and Gulf Coast leading 41-0. Okay.
This past week, everybody's always wanting to talk about we need to clean out Jackson. We need to get things going on. Well, a Doe Deer tried its best this week to do so. It got in an office building.
Really?
Completely tore the thing completely up. They got to shut the business down and have it remodeled on the inside. They got it cornered into the kitchen area, and it tore everything up in there, knocked the door down. Of course, it came through a plate glass window. I don't have any idea what it was doing in downtown Jackson.
Wheeler on the keeper to the 45 and wiggles his way free and is hammered inside the 40, but not before he picks up a first down. There you see Wheeler's running prowess, and that moves the chains. So was it the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries building? That would have been really funny if it had been that one.
They came and got the deer and took it, but it was one of the office buildings there on the outskirts of Jackson, and it came right on through the plate glass window and just took over. People coming out of that building right and left.
But that was interesting. Eli Hughes dragged down at the 40 on that first down carry by Blake's Graves. I'm glad I haven't had to say his name too many. Blake's Graves. A lot of S's on that one. It'll be second down after the loss of 2. Inside 5 minutes to go as the Bulldogs are clinching another MACJC South Division title.
Steve hadn't lost very much here at home at all in his.
And this will extend the home winning streak to 19 in a row. And the team that last beat the Bulldogs is coming here next week at home. Wheeler on the keeper across the 34, down to about the 36, and it'll be third down coming up inside 4 minutes as the clock continues to run. I guess I'll wake up Shep down on the sideline here in a minute.
Bill,
do you think he's talking about arthroscopic surgery with Dr. Noblin?
Oh, yeah, they're talking about some kind of surgery that some new procedures coming out.
Medial collateral ligaments? No. 3rd and 10 for Gulf Coast. 41-0 as Snell carries it across the 35 down to the 32. They'll be short of the first down as it's mop-up time here in Perkinston.
By the way, I heard Ole Miss kicked the field goal with no time left and beat Arkansas.
They did. They beat them 30-27. Meanwhile, Southern Miss now 0-8. Losing to Rice 44-17. Just not good.
Certainly not good, eh?
3 minutes to go here. 4th and 5 from the East Central 32. The Bulldogs will go for it. And the give to Snell. Snell reverses field, gets a block from Wheeler, cuts it inside the 35, then fumbles, and it goes out of bounds. But that's going to be the Bulldogs' ball because he's the last person that had it. Let's see how they call this, though.
They called it our ball, and I'm going to watch it on replay. Boy, see how he stops and goes? He just
Wheeler
good
through the block.
Now watch when he makes this cut right there.
He just lost it.
He lost it there, and he never did control it back.
And it rolled right out of bounds. The last person to touch it.
No, he's out of bounds. There's no question about it. When he got to it and corralled it, he was out of bounds.
He did not have possession of it. That was an East Central player, so it's first down for the Bulldogs. Inside the 30 at the 26 of East Central as they're mopping up a 41-0 victory over the Warriors.
We fixing to get a penalty right here. I really don't know what we're doing. They're going to give us a new play clock. They just didn't want to throw a penalty flag right there because we had 12 men on the field, and we were already lined up to run a play, and then we tried to swap a man out.
The refs are busy.
He's mad. See, the coach over on the other side's mad about it.
Refs are busier than a centipede at a toe counting contest.
Here we go.
Glad I wrote those down. Coming in handy in a...
What day during the week do you do this? I mean, you got you wear many hats up here, but what day during the week do you work on these things?
Just every once in a while I'll have a vision. Frightening.
There's a fumble.
Snell drops it, picks it up again. Actually, that's Antoine Wells, and he takes it down to the 30.
We just talked earlier, about we don't fumble the ball. Our backs don't. We fumble twice in 2 plays right here.
Fortunately, these are happening when the Bulldogs are up by 41 as we go inside a minute 30 and head down to the field. Shep, were y'all talking about medial collateral ligaments with Dr. Noblin down there?
I was. I was actually teaching him.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's true.
I understand.
As the Bulldogs go into victory formation, we were talking about it, Shep. This is the 6th straight trip to the playoffs for the Bulldogs and the 6th South Division title since 2005. So, once again, they come in and take care of business, crushing East Central, and we'll be doing this again next week.
Well, I appreciate those stats because I'm going to say those to Coach Campbell, and he's going to think, man, you've done your homework, Shep. So I like that.
What we do.
But no, I mean, and I think he'll probably, he'll talk to about, the program that they built here, the quality of the players and the quality of the guys that they have playing here. So it's a lot that goes into it. I mean, think about how many, different teams have come and gone out of the North in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen Scuba, we've seen Northwest, we've seen Northeast, we've seen, I think Holmes was in there once too. So, but every year, Gulf Coast is there from the South.
And that's the ball game. Coach is heading to the middle of the field to shake hands and put this one away. The Bulldogs win it 41-0. A happy homecoming in Perkinston for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast goes to 8-1 overall, 5-1 in the division. And next week at 2 o'clock, Northwest comes to town in the first round of the MACJC playoffs. And we'll go down to the field and let Shep take over as he walks down Coach Campbell to get his thoughts on this shutout victory during homecoming.
And Bill, I wanted to know what he knows about Northwest so far, how much he's seen them, because they played East Mississippi was it 2 weeks ago, and it was a shootout, and scored 49 points, I believe, and still turned the ball over 5 times.
Right,
So
I watched part of that game there.
Right.
Quarterback Dominique Harris is big and fast and can throw it a country mile, and they got some pretty good receivers too. Here's Shep with Coach Campbell down on the field.
All right, Coach, initial reaction, 41-0. I kind of have an idea, though. You're not really the happiest camper.
No, I mean, I'm excited that we won the South and that we won the game and all that. But, I mean, we played sloppily in the second half. Not pleased with the balls on the ground and the lack of execution. And it didn't seem like we came out ready to play. Well, I know we didn't come out as good in the second half. And we had been doing that earlier in the year. We had gotten to where we were finishing games the right way, and we didn't finish the way that we needed to, but we won. So I'm pleased, but then that gives us some stuff that definitely we got to work on going into the playoffs.
All right, speaking of the playoffs, 6 straight years in the postseason, 6 South Division championships since 2005. Before we turn our attention to Northwest, talk to me about the program, the state of the program, building of the program.
Yeah, it's really pleased to be able to get that level of consistency, and that's what, when we first got here, we wanted to build the program and get it to the level of consistency that Coach Seacool had it at during the the 60s and 70s and 80s, and we're not there yet, but we're building that, and we are proud of the fact that we've been in the playoffs 6 years in a row, and that's what we use in recruiting is to tell the guys, if you come here, you'll have a chance to win a championship and play for a championship. And so we're proud to get to that point, but we're not satisfied with the South State Championship. We want to win a state championship.
Well, the first part of that comes next week, next Saturday, 2 o'clock. The Northwest Rangers will be in town. That's a team we've played in the playoffs the last couple of seasons. Obviously, things change quickly in junior college. They put up a bunch of points against East Mississippi a couple of weeks ago. What do you know about Northwest quickly?
Not a whole lot, other than that they're a very talented football team. I know they've got a great ground game. They're very balanced, and they're supposed to be really good on defense. So I always know, Ricky Woods coach football team. He won a bunch of championships at South Panola and's doing the same thing at Northwest. So I know they're going to be a very physical football team. What
do you tell your team? What do you want them to concentrate on in the week of a playoff game?
Getting better. Same thing we tell them getting ready for any other game. You got to get better and then protect the football and try to create and eliminate explosive plays.
All right, Coach, thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. So there you go, Bill, talking with, once again, the South Division Championship head coach, Steve Campbell of the Gulf Coast Bulldogs. The march to another state championship continues, and I'm sure you guys have mentioned it a bunch up there, but, we don't have to leave Perkinston to get that state championship this year.
The South will host here.
Yes, that's right. The South host the state championship game this year, so that could come into play in that second week, but it doesn't matter anything if you don't get past Northwest next week.
That's right. Okay, thanks, Shep. We'll talk to you next week, 2 o'clock, Gulf Coast and Northwest for the MACJC playoffs, and that should be a terrific game. But today, Gulf Coast, maybe a little lackluster in the second half, but they win it 41-0 to clinch the title. So it's the Bulldogs and Rangers next week. That should be a lot of fun, Jimmy.
Should be, because history-wise, that was a team that George Seacool had a lot of problems with in playoffs to win state championships years back. And it's been come and go with East Mississippi, but Northwest will bring a team down here that'll be ready to play. I can assure you. And go ahead and get your ticket now to get up here to ALMA Stadium, because it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a much higher level intensity game than what happened here today.
That's right, and what happened here is the Bulldogs win it, shutting out East Central 41-0 on homecoming. For Jeff Shepard on the sidelines and Jimmy Davis and all our Bulldog Live crew, I'm Bill Snyder. Thanks for listening and watching our game today. 41-0 the final. Gulf Coast wins it to clinch the #1 seed in the South. We will see you right here next Saturday at 2 p.m., Gulf Coast and Northwest. In the meantime, as I said, Bill Snyder and Jimmy Davis saying so long from Perkinston. Have a great night and a great weekend.